Hey, you guys, welcome back to Naughty Love Movement. It's your girl, Nikki, and today I'm bringing opportunities for advertisement on my channel. If anyone is interested, they can email us at knottylove2020@gmail.com. Our prices are affordable and reasonable, and please reach out to us. We can start our videos with any commercials that you would like us to advertise. I look forward to hearing from you. I'm out. One. Good morning, Naughty Crew. Happy Saturday to all of you. Hope everybody is having a wonderful start to their day. And let me tell you, things have erupted overnight. But welcome back to the channel. It's your host, Naughty, or Nikki, whatever you prefer. And we're going to get into the sauce this morning because there's a lot going on. Okay, we got Larry Reid exposed. Now we know why he was trying to create. I never believed it. Can I tell you, I never believed it. He ain't had no proof. And plus, he still didn't answer for that young man that was making allegations against him. Okay. And then I felt like there was some questionable commentary he has done in the past, like on T.S. Madison's platform and things like that, like where it was this he has some questionable behavior, but here it is. He trying to drive this whole narrative about grooming in the church. And you the number one culprit. We gonna get into it, Naughty Crew. We gonna get into it. Shout out to Official Campaign. You gotta get flowers where flowers is due. And let me tell you, I believe that he have receipts and everything. He have receipts and everything. All right, we want to get into Megan Thee Stallion's distribution deal, and also Fannie Mae admitting to the relationship, what's to come for her. And we're going to get into this fake rap beef between Lotto and Ice Spice. The verdict is in on JT's new single, Sideways. Okay, we just going. We got a fruit bowl of topics today. Okay, I dropped the link. It's an open panel. Anybody want to come up and sound off? Okay, and I'm gonna even get into the Married to Medicine beef a little bit. Being that I was having technical difficulties yesterday, I wasn't able to dive into it as much as I would like. But before we get into it, please make sure you hit that like button. I just need y'all to hit the like button. It's free. That's a free way to support the channel, share my content, leave comments, engagement. You can hit the dislike button, whatever you prefer. But engage with the channel. That goes for the people in the chat, the people in the back, in the bushes. Okay. Engage. All right. We on our road to 5K over here. And let me tell you, the rock tar's been tearing me up in the comments. Okay. But I don't care. I got a right to my opinion. Just like y'all got a right to yours. And I just don't live in a world where you don't hold people accountable for their behaviors and things like that. And I got a right to withdraw my support whenever I want. Period. Period. All right. Make sure, please donate to the channel. All donations are definitely appreciated. Support the channel. We accept Cash App, Super Chat, Super Stickers, things like that. Support the channel. Also, subscribe to my backup channel. Yes, I'm trying to get monetized over there so we can begin going live and doing commentary. I think what I'm going to do with that channel is like stick to the music industry because I love music. I love music. And so, like, with all these little beefs, these little rap beefs and R&B tips that's been going on, I think I'm going to just do that on that channel. Period. Because you guys seem to enjoy it. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this intro as people load up in the room. And we're going to dive right in. Be right back, Naughty Crew. Hey Kim, good morning, Queen.
Good morning, beautiful.
How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Just fixing breakfast, drinking coffee, and getting ready to start unpacking some more and listening to my girl and seeing these topics.
We gonna dive in on today. Let me say good morning to the people. Hey Danny. Hey Buck. Happy Saturday to you, Buck. Okay. Yes, child. Last night, Official Campaign exposed Larry Reid. All right. His secret lover came forward. All right. And for those of you who don't know the backstory, AT2 covered this in MEMS. they both covered this. Larry Reid was trying to drive this narrative of there's a lot of grooming going on in the church, and they were alluding to TD Jakes being the culprit behind that grooming. And a young man called Manasseh, he's supposed to be a prophet, came forward and confirmed that grooming does go on in the church. He never really said any names. And to me, he didn't even, neither one of them, Larry or Manasseh, produced enough proof for me to believe that that man is engaging in that type of behavior. Good morning, Ms. Kaiser. So I know AT2 got the receipts, and Larry Reid has been dangling little candies, like he got all this proof, and that it's going to be this big lawsuit. And here it is at the end of the month. The lawsuit has never dropped, but I never ever believed it. Like the proof that he showed, the text messages that he exposed, it's just a friend checking on another friend. That's what I got out of it. Okay. There was nothing salacious about it. He even tried to produce a picture saying that it was part of the grooming process. But whenever you have somebody that's making all these accusations, I know myself, I always go, what you know about this? Okay. What you know about this? Why are you so pressed to drive this narrative that you have no proof of? So it makes me look at you sideways, which I always looked at Larry sideways, especially once he got exposed on Tasha K. He got exposed on Tasha K. Tasha K interviewed one of his alleged victims. Let me put my banner up. Okay. It has not been any criminal charges brought. The secret lover that came forward, he was a consenting adult. And what I find is, like a typical groomer, they find your weakness and they prey on that. Okay. And he saw this young man needed to get American citizenship, and he used that to his advantage. All right. But this interview exposed a lot, and we want to dive right in. Kim, are you familiar with this story about Larry Reid?
I had my mute on. Yeah, I remember this story, but it's a while back. Was it last year when he was going in on somebody? But I'm gonna just tell you, he always seems suspect to me.
Exactly. And he felt suspect to me. So we're on the same page there. Now after Tasha K, the allegations, because this young man is saying that Larry violated him as a young man, okay? And he had text messages between him and Larry and things like that. Larry always denied the allegations, and the story kind of went away, right? So in the height of all this Diddy mess, and then TD Jakes little accusations being dropped out there, I felt like he saw an opportunity because he's an opportunist. Let's just call a thing or whatever. And he got with Manassas, who is known for fraud. He's been accused of fraud. Okay. So this on that alone, like I can't believe nothing you say. You a false prophet, just like the rest of these cats. Okay. So he tried to get with him to drive this narrative to say that TD Jakes was a part of the grooming process within the church. And it was supposed to be all these victims coming forward, and nothing never came of it. And one thing I'm happy about, TD Jakes did not budge. Okay. TD Jakes has not responded, because if it's not true, if there's no truth to it, why respond? And TJ Jakes said, y'all ain't going.
You ever been swallowed up, swallowed up?
Y'all ain't
That
gonna
swallow
swallow me
tells
up in
me.
this. Y'all ain't gonna swallow me up in this. Y'all ain't gonna
At
swallow
all.
me up in this nonsense. And
At
this is
all.
my thing. I hope he brings some type of legal action towards these people trying to drive his narrative, because you messing with a man's reputation. You messing with his livelihood and things like that, making all these false allegations without proof. And I just cannot stand this culture they're trying to create where people think they could come out with subliminals. Subliminals. And go away like they never did anything. It's just really sad of that. And I'm talking about the Christian Keys and stuff like that. You make all these accusations pointing to a certain man's character and you go away like you've been paid off. It's ridiculous. Oh, we got another guest, Kim. Hey, Gina. Good morning, Queen.
Afternoon. How are you?
Afternoon for you. Gina is from London. Our Queen from London.
Hi, Gina.
Woo, are you familiar?
Hi.
Are you familiar with the Larry Reid situation?
No, I'm not actually. Tell me.
Okay. So just to break it down for you, last year he was exposed. One of his victims was interviewed on Tasha K. All right. He made accusations that Larry Reid has violated him as a young man and continued to groom him. All right. Larry had denied those accusations, but it was text messages everywhere. It blew up all over YouTube. Okay. An official Kingpin, Sean Davy Way, a bunch of YouTubers was following it, and the text messages to me felt like I felt like he incriminated himself with those text messages that young man had. All right. Let's not forget also he was on T.S. Madison and he was making disparaging comments against young people. And he just sounded like a predator to me. You understand? Or whatever. And so, like, the story slowly but surely went away. But the official Kingpin last night had an interview with his secret lover. He came forward. And let me tell you, the secret lover, the reason why he's coming forward, number one, when Larry Reid was beefing with Bishop Whitehead, this young man's number was doxxed. And he received all type of backlash. So he's pissed because he wasn't ready to come out. He you know what I mean? He was still in a closet and things like that. Now I have the interview. I'm gonna play it for you ladies. I'm not gonna I'm just gonna play the audio. But he said some very damning things. But guess what? Guess what official Kingpin had? Documented proof to back this man's story up. He was able to corroborate. All right, but Gina, here recently, Larry Reid has been trying to drive this hate train on TD Jakes, saying that he grooms young men in a church and things like that.
So that thing with Diddy wasn't true, right? With TD Jakes.
We don't have any proof. We don't have any proof that they had a relationship or anything. Only thing we know is that TD Jakes, at one point in time, he was counseling Diddy because he was so depressed after Kim Porter, that whole situation, and he was giving counsel. And then after that, he was all of a sudden popping up at Diddy's parties. And we all know what goes on at Diddy's parties. But just because a person is there, that doesn't mean that they engaged in inappropriate acts. You understand? There's no proof. There's no proof. Unfortunately, I mean, do I feel like it was appropriate for a pastor to be at events like that? No, I don't feel like that. But I'm not going to go and make all these frivolous accusations with no actual proof. Well, now, this goes to show, be careful the grave you dig for someone else, because you better have a shovel to dig your own grave. And now you're getting exposed for grooming. And that's what this young man is exposing. And he's a top athlete in Europe. He's a soccer player. So he had a lot of reason to try to protect, his secret and things like that. He wasn't ready to come out. But I have it, you guys. Let me know. Y'all ready to hear it? Because it is juicy. Here we go.
You mentioned to Larry that you need help staying in America. Yeah, because I can't have that operation for my.
His name is Lester, just so you all know. His name is Lester. And let me know if y'all can hear okay.
She was suffering some medical stuff. Came over here, had the operation done and everything, and at that point I ended up overstaying my time. So it was either I would.
He's talking about his daughter. She needed an operation, so he came to America to get her the proper medical treatment. And he was here on like a visitor's visa, and he overstayed. And you know, when you overstay your visas, they could deport you, and you could not be allowed back in the country again.
Get married or just leave. But Larry came up with an amazing idea, and unfortunately, it helped me now that I could stay in America and be here without getting deported.
And that amazing idea was to marry you off to his cousin.
Yeah, definitely. The married in part was for my favor. His cousin, if anybody knows Larry's cousin, she's a dice. She don't like guys. And I've been offered to marry his ex-wife, but unfortunately, he told me that it would have been too close to him, that people would have figured it out. So he made me marry his cousin, and I moved to Atlanta. But I didn't understand moving to Atlanta because he offered me to be his personal chef because I could have cooked. And I didn't mind staying in Miami, but now I found out that, he wanted me to be close to him in Atlanta.
Okay. And you mentioned that, you didn't want people to find out about it.
Yeah, because definitely I didn't want, because what I was doing, I had a guy who was helping me with his good heart, but now I knew his intention, that he was really attracted to me and etc. And, if anybody knows Larry, he has a way of talking to people and getting through people.
Did anyone else know about your relationship with Larry?
No, because we never. I saw now somebody sent me a link that he has like a reality TV show. I've been offered to be on the show and I denied it. I tell him I don't want to be a part of the circus. I don't want anybody to even know that we exist.
My.
Yeah.
My. So you said that you guys dated for a year.
Yeah.
Correct. And what happened? Like, why are you now speaking out? Like, what? Well, you said that you had to separate from him, but what is making you want to speak out against Larry?
I'm not speaking out only on Larry. I'm speaking out to myself, and now I'm because my video was leaked, so now I could come out and talk about my lifestyle and what I experienced in America. So I'm not sending this message to break down anybody or mash up anybody home. I'm just talking for myself and my experience. And unfortunately, Larry, I experienced in my time being in America with him.
Absolutely. And what would you like? How would you describe your relationship? What did you guys do? Like,
I mean, he's a working guy. He works 365 days in the year. So the relationship we had was more like I go over there, I cook whenever he wants food, and we have talk. I met his whole family, his daughters, his ex-wife, his cousins, his boy toys. I met everybody. So we really used to be like talking with one another, and the attraction part wasn't there because I didn't see him as attractive person. But eventually, I never had anybody spoil me in my life. So if somebody's
spoiling you,
yeah, he started definitely giving me. Normally, if I cook, what I
so spoiling this, he started showering him with expensive gifts. He saw that he needed citizenship, so he offered up his cousin for him to marry him so he could stay in the country. All it is so he can get what he wants in the end, which gives me signs of a groomer.
Was to get paid. He gave me like triple, and I start feeling comfortable around him. We didn't do any physical stuff for the first 6-7 months, but afterwards it started happening. We started sleeping around and having fun.
My. Sleeping around and having fun.
Yeah.
And is Larry a top or a bottom?
He is definitely a top, but he's versatile. But I didn't find him attracted to sleep with him.
My. Yeah. So Larry would hire you on as a chef, and this was just a cover up. He would, you would cook for him.
Yeah.
But you would do a lot more than cook.
No, I pushed it that he didn't push it. Like after a while, somebody's texting you and telling you how much they want you. It's just a matter of time that let's have fun, because after the 6-7 months of him helping me out with everything, I kind of definitely got attracted to his personality.
Absolutely. So he started texting you.
We used to talk every day.
Okay, you guys just talk every day.
Yeah, every day.
Every day.
So for me to go into his house and have his jewelries and drive his car, I wasn't one of his toy boys. I met his daughters. I talked to his daughters, his cousins. Like I was there all the time. I had access.
My. You gave up all that access because you have a baby on the way.
Yeah, just for me is that I really love my girlfriend. So I talked to her. We had a conversation, and I told her about everything, and she's like, babes, I'm going to support you no matter what. And I was like, nah, I can't have this and bring that in our kid life, so I choose the different path. So I detached myself from everything.
My. You mentioned that Larry refused to get tested. What was that like?
Everybody's no secret he's on PrEP, so probably you do have it or you don't have it. I don't know. He never gave me the results because I was on PrEP also. Because when the funny thing is that I texted Blackhead. What's the pastor name from New York?
Whitehead. Bishop Whitehead.
So I texted him because one time me and Larry had a falling out, and I texted him and said, hey, I know a lot of information about this dude. And he thought it was Larry texting him or somebody. And then he leaked the number. And when the number was leaked, people text the number, and now I found out the real Larry Reid. I didn't know he was a child molester. I didn't know he was sick. And I asked myself, do I want to deal with this individual? And I asked him numerous times, it's like, is this message true? Because you have like 20 people messaging my line, thinking is you and talking what they did or what you did. And then I did my little research, and I was like, man, I don't know if to trust you or not. And he would look me straight in my eyes and tell me, bro, man, don't believe nobody. People just trying to be out here to get me. I'm successful. I got money. So people want an opportunity. So I kind of believe that, but not believe it to the extent where that. So I always protect myself. When we did start having sex, I definitely went on PrEP.
My. So it would be because Bishop Whitehead leaked your number that you will find out these things about Larry Reid, because you didn't know. You're not on social media. It actually took you a very long time to get on the show tonight, because you're not tech savvy or anything like that.
Yeah.
So you didn't know about the allegations, and you didn't know about the accusers.
Yeah, definitely.
So you would, eventually ask Larry about it when you would find out, and he would look you in the eyes and tell you that, these people are just clout chasing off of him.
Definitely. So you see, I never know his true colors. I saw glimpses of when me and him fell out, how he could be. But the biggest task was me and my girl went on vacation, New York, and then we went to Miami on his course, on his Airbnbs. He paid for everything.
A whole sugar daddy out here, okay? He a whole sugar daddy.
Obviously. And me and my girlfriend, we had a falling out. We had an altercation. Me and we were on Molly, and I passed out. And in that altercation, she ended up injuring her hand. And so the state ended up picking up the case, even though we're still together. And the case is settled now, and I'm on probation and whatever. We're still together. I saw Larry true color because I really feel deep down that I went to Miami with the car he had given me in my contract, and he told me, don't go with his car. So I just practically tell him, fuck you.
So you got a car, he gave you a car also.
Yeah, so in my contract I had with him as a chef to be on his payroll, I required an apartment and a car.
Okay.
You know, so I remember he always told me, don't put too much mileage on the car. But at that point, I'm done. I'm true of him. Like, I don't care what he said. Everything is going through one ear and coming through the other. You know, he meets somebody where he can control. So I used to show him, like, you can't tell me what to do. So when I went to Miami with the vehicle and got into altercation, they had to contact him because I left the vehicle when I got locked up. And I really feel deep down in my heart that he called immigration for me.
So retaliation.
I felt like he called the immigration. And that's how low he wanted to go with me. But it's unfortunately I can get deported because I'm married to his cousin. So
absolutely. So you felt like he wanted to get rid of you?
Yeah.
And why would he want to get rid of you? Did you become too much of a burden? Were you asking for too much money? Did he find somebody new?
Because I told him in Miami after when I took my girl, remember the Airbnb he paid for. I was like, man, I found out some news. My girl is pregnant, and the relationship that we have after this trip, I'm detaching myself from you. I'm going my way. I'm going to separate you.
And he didn't like that?
Nah.
What did he say?
He's like, practically he told me that I used him.
Oh, you used him.
Yeah.
Did you use him?
Yeah, I definitely did. I'm not gonna deny that.
I mean, what do you expect when you buy love? I mean, you was being a whole sugar daddy. He bought that. He bought that. What do you ladies think so far?
I'm surprised. This is the first time I was hearing about this. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It's been a lot of accusations of him being an M-word. This is alleged. You understand? And he tried to deflect. And I felt like when he came back this time with driving this whole narrative that TD Jakes groomed, I felt like he was trying to distract us from all these allegations.
I feel like TD Jakes is kind of an easy target. Sorry, sis.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I just feel like TD Jakes is an easy target, especially after the whole Diddy thing. And, all of these accusations have been coming out at pastors recently. So it's not hard to put an accusation against TD Jakes and people will probably believe it.
And then he put out all this false proof. AT2 covered it on his channel. It was text messages that Manassas had released to Larry Reid. And he was driving his narrative that it's a ton of victims and they're all coming forward. And they're going to bring a lawsuit. And the lawsuit was supposed to drop at the end of January. We're now in February. I did not believe the evidence that he presented, and I just felt like he was trying to push a lie, a false narrative. And when AT2 first broke the story, the first thing I said, well, Larry still has an answer for the allegations that have been out there about him. Who is he to bring forth these allegations towards another person? You know what I mean? Like, your hands aren't clean. The nerve of you. But I just really feel like be careful of the grave you dig for someone else. You may be digging your own. And now here we have it. The ex-lover comes out. And I believe him. Number one, because he brought up Bishop Whitehead. Bishop Whitehead and Larry Reid were beefing hard. Now, Bishop Whitehead was one of the first ones to come out with the accusations that Larry liked to fool with little boys. Now, Bishop Whitehead, like the message, great, we receive it, but the wrong messenger because he's a whole fraud. You understand?
Right.
So it fell on deaf ears. But then Tasha K came with one of the actual victims with text message receipt. Okay, but then nobody was trusting her because she had just went through the whole Cardi B scandal or whatever. So nobody wanted to believe her. But then it resurfaced on Sean Davy Way, and Sean Davy Way had read those text messages, and he was like, I believe he did it. I believe he did it. Then Official King Payne also was doing a lot of exposing on Larry Reid. And then all of a sudden, that's when Jaguar Wright came into the picture. And so the story kind of got suppressed, right? So Larry went away for a little while and got quiet. And then all of a sudden, the end of last year, he resurfaced with these allegations against TD
You know what? I am sick and tired of these accusations being made online. With these types of accusations, I hate when these accusations and receipts are spilled over the internet. This stuff needs to be in court. If this is not true, then a defamation lawsuit needs to be filed. Because you can't be making accusations like that. My thing is that instead of making accusations, go to court. This is something that you go to court over. But none of you lot want to do that. You lot want to spill your tea on the internet. This isn't gossip to me. This is like, no, some of you lot need to go to prison if this is true.
Well, I agree with that too, but it's been a long time where you've had this kind of stuff happening in the church, from the Catholic Church all the way down to the Baptist Church and all the rest of that. I understand what you guys are saying about even TD Jakes, but the thing is, there's two couple of things. First of all, people can splice and dice video clips all the kind of way they want to be able to support claims that really do not have a foundation. But at the same time, in the same token, it used to be a time, which no longer it really is, because everybody is doing whatever. And I understand as a preacher, you got to go by the highways and the byways to give the message to everybody. However, though, if you are the shepherd of a flock, you have to hold yourself in such a manner in which you don't, how can I say it? You don't get stained by the goings on of common people. I say that about TD Jakes because you have to hold yourself in high esteem. So when people who are questionable, for me, it used to be a time where those did not put themselves in that. So it lends scrutiny. So I can understand why people are scrutinizing that. But at this point in time, in this world, anything goes. So, it's just a cluster, with all these people.
It's a cluster, but I think this is a credible person. Number one, I want to put the disclaimer out there. He was a consenting adult. Okay. And Larry, you making all these accusations about other people grooming. You were grooming this young man, buying him extravagant things, finding out he needed citizenship. All of a sudden, you're the savior. It was all to put him in a position so that you can get what you want at the end of the day.
I believe that when it first came out, though. I mean, I'm not denying that, man. I just wanted to speak on some of that other stuff about these preachers, okay? Because all I'm just saying now, you can't believe these preachers around here because they're not the same, is all I'm just saying, okay? They are not.
Like you said,
yes.
You got to watch what you align yourself with. And I think the biggest thing, we don't have any proof that TD Jakes did anything at Diddy's parties besides attend them. But no one wants to see their pastor indulging in the devil's playground, so to speak. You understand? You're preaching one thing or whatever. And it's one thing to go and counsel that man. It's another thing to attend one of his parties when we know what goes on there. You understand?
To be honest, sorry, says if all those accusations, I actually do not have a hard time believing these accusations against TD Jakes to be true, just because of all of these church scandals. Remember that scandal with the Catholic Church? All of these church scandals, just seeing all of these pastors in private jets accused of scamming. So at this point, I honestly don't have a hard time believing those rumors about TD Jakes. If it's true, then I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I would not be shocked if it all turned out to be true.
But I'm with you, Gina. If it's true, go to the cops, though. File charges on these people. But these people are being bought off. You see what I'm saying? The style is being bought. Hey, Kurz, welcome to the panel.
Hey, happy Saturday, everybody.
Happy Saturday.
Oh, hey, Official King Payne. I'm here to give you your flowers, sir. You did that on this interview. I appreciate you coming through on the chat. And the reason why I'm presenting his video, because he actually did show receipts. I'm talking about video cam of Larry leaving this gentleman's apartment in the middle of the night. He presented bank records of things that Larry has bought him. He had proof. He had proof.
Wasn't Larry Reid trying to do something to TD Jakes and now he got exposed?
Yeah, exactly. And this is
Oh
why
my
this is the
God.
heck. Like, be careful of the grave that you dig for
Right,
someone
that saying.
else, because you
When
may
you're
be
going on
digging your own
revenge, dig 2
grave.
graves. Yep,
And
dig
you're
2 of them.
accusing TD Jakes of being a groomer when you out here grooming people yourself. That's
Well, I
your
kind of
character.
feel like this whole thing about religion has really gotten away from people, and there have been a lot of false prophets, and I'm so happy that people are seeing them for what other people have been seeing them for. I mean, you go to church and you're supposed to get edified in your spirit and grounded in your journey, and instead you end up groomed and all kind of stuff. And I just really feel excited, literally excited, that all of these false prophets are being revealed and that their flock has an opportunity to get their spirit edified by a true prophet, or perhaps they go and discover something else. I'm not sure. But when the devil's telling you every Sunday that you're the wrong person, it has to have an effect on your overall spiritual well-being if you did align yourself with that flock for so long. You know?
And I
Like,
just feel like Larry Reid is a fraud. I always felt like and when he tried to drive this narrative and AT2 had the receipts on his panel, I did not believe it. I just felt like that
mhm,
was friendly banter of two friends checking on one another. You understand?
mhm,
And he exposed what he wanted to expose about the situation, but it did not prove grooming to me. And to me,
right.
I felt like he tried to drive this narrative to deflect from what
From
he was
him.
really exposed for, which was
Mm,
messing with underage men. Okay. And this is
mm,
all
mm,
allegedly. And
mm,
Official
mm,
King
mm,
Payne, Tasha K, and Sean Davy Way, they all have been on it. All right. And like I said, the story had kind of died down a little bit because the Jaguar right stuff came in and took over a little bit. But I heard those text messages read out loud. And it
mhm,
sounded to me like Larry had a guilty conscience. Larry participated in something that he was not supposed to do. All right. And I think
mm,
this kind of makes it official. And I think people didn't want to fully believe the accusations because of the messengers putting it out there. The Bishop
right.
Whiteheads, who's a fraud. Okay. Then Tasha K actually interviewed the victim, but that was on the tail end of her losing a Cardi case where everybody felt like she
Mhm,
was a liar and this and that or whatever. But I still felt like this young man was a victim at the end of the day. And Larry, I felt like the nerve of you to try to drive this grooming narrative against another man with very little proof when you got your own accusations and your own skeletons to attest for.
mhm, mm,
All
mm,
right,
mm.
y'all, we're gonna get some more into it. Official campaign, thank you so much for coming over to my channel and supporting me. I saw when you broke this last night. I did hit the like button and I did share, okay? But yeah, I want to give flowers where flowers due because he did that and he solidified in my heart what I felt was the truth about this person. All right, here. And I'm gonna share the full video if you don't mind, official Kingpin. Like I want you to get your credit. Cause I ain't no hater like that. Okay.
I realized that he's not taking what I'm telling him. He want to do things his way and be helpful because he wants me in the.
Because he said that ain't nothing like Pastor Peen. He says it's not given.
Uh, Unfortunately, I didn't
Nothing to
experience
brag
that.
about.
I only experienced 3 minutes with him.
Yes, it is.
And I know he's gonna see this interview, and he has videos of me on his phone what I sent him, and
My message to him: please leak it, please, please leak the videos you got with me. And if it do leak, oh my God, I have a lawyer now. I really do have a lawyer, a really good lawyer. So
You said that
please.
he would be mad if he denied that you guys were together.
No, I'm talking about he has videos with me, and I know after this interview, he's gonna get mad. But I'm saying on your interview now to Larry now, if you hear it, please leak my videos. Please leak my videos, please. Only he has access to these ones. I sent him.
Man.
My friend, I gotta go. It was nice talking to you.
All right.
I was on a timer. Right.
Okay. All right. I'll talk to you soon when this is here on the Lituation TV network. You guys make sure that you guys are subscribed. The link is in the chat. If you guys want to support our special guest, the link is right there on the screen. Go ahead and send him something for the show. Show him some support. That way he come back. We want him to come back. Okay, part 2 through 22. Okay, yeah,
I
we
totally want more.
Thank you so much.
I totally want more. Can you guys hear me? Because my connection kind of went out.
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay. All right. Now,
Where'd she go?
She'll be back. She's been having bad connection for a few days, I think.
and I'm back. Y'all know StreamYard been giving me problems. Official Kingpin, y'all have to go over to his channel. But he presented receipts, audio of Larry Reid talking about grooming and taking advantage of people. He presented receipts from Lester. Like I said, he had, because he started installing cameras in the apartment. So he has video footage of Larry Reid leaving his apartment after sessions and things like that. He presented OKP with bank records and things like that. So at this point, I don't feel like this man has a reason to lie. And my thing is, what about all these victims? The young men that suffered at the hands of Larry Reid. I don't know. What are your final thoughts on that story? Thank you, Official Kingpin. Anybody?
I just think that I hate all of this. Like, I just want these people in jail. Like, it gets to a point where this is not tea or gossip. Like a lot of you lot just need to go to prison. For me, I want to see a lot of you behind bars. So then, when I hear stuff like this, I don't like to engage because I'm like, I want you guys to go to prison. Because this isn't tea or gossip to me. This is like serious criminal stuff that you belong in jail. So that's how I feel.
Exactly.
And to be honest, I just feel like TG Jakes needs to be investigated. Do you know what? There's something about TG Jakes that just doesn't sit right with my spirit. I don't know what it is about TG Jakes, but something dodgy. I don't know. That he just gives me the ick. I don't know what it is about him. He gives me the ick. All of them need to be investigated, and some of them definitely need to go to prison.
Well, I mean, victims need to start reporting these acts to the police department so that there's a record, so that when they do speak up, they have proof. Also, people need to stop taking hush money. That's a major problem. I mean, that's how Diddy was able to get away with what he got away with for 30 years. He paid people off. Same thing with R. Kelly, paid people off. And people, I get that people get scared, right? Because they feel like these people are powerful people. But I just really need for us as a society to start changing the narrative where you report these people. You cannot give, like, silence creates more victims. Period. Anybody else got any other thoughts? I believe it, and I look forward to the Official Kingpin Part 2. I'll be here for it. Okay? Like, comment, and share. Go over to his channel and subscribe. You did your big one. You did your big one on this, and I give flowers where flowers are due. Okay. He was the first one to come forward. Yeah, Vince McMahon. He's got a whole big scandal going on. He had to step down from the WWE. I grew up on wrestling. But it's these big corporations. It's these big corporations and people in power. And speaking of people in power, let's get into Fani Willis next, okay? Because she is admitting to the relationship now. Are y'all familiar with Fani Willis? She is the prosecutor in Atlanta. She brought the charges against Young Thug. She brought the charges against Trump for the election fraud. And as a result of her bringing those charges, and shout out to the Shade Room for this one, all right, as a result of her bringing those charges, Trump, you already know, love to have his little temper tantrums when he can't get his way, okay? And they even collaborated with her lover's ex-wife for her to produce receipts. All right, because Trump ain't playing with her. He gonna win at all costs. All right, so Georgia prosecutor and Fulton County District Attorney # Fani Willis is in the hot seat. Her root is Fani Willis, who is trying former President Trump for seeking to overturn the 2020 election defeat, acknowledges having a personal relationship with another lawyer who she put in charge of Trump's case on the criminal case. However, Willis denied the relationship, tainted the prosecution. Let me tell you something. She really done put herself on a chopping block at this point, because now they're going to question her integrity going forward. They're going to pull all her cases now to see if there was any corners cut, so to speak. This means a lot.
So she was boning a co-person that is trying to get Trump.
She was boning and having an affair with a married person before he was divorced, then hired him to be the lead attorney on the Trump case, which he has no experience, by, mind you, in criminal law.
But is he getting the job done? I mean, we keep seeing the people for 45 have to show up in court. So whatever they're doing, their work ethic is obviously shining through to the degree that all the other components don't have an issue with what they're presenting as evidence for this case to go forward. Therefore, if the man they're persecuting can say that he's going to go around grabbing all the pussies he wants, then I don't see what the problem is. And he had an affair with porn star and paid her off. So what does it matter if, and he's not in trouble for that. That's not their problem. And
well, you know, the thing about that though, and that ties into what we talked about before, people about the preachers. When you are in a position of trust, you have to have impeccable character. Okay? Because what happens is that it shows that if you do not, and she lied in this particular case, then they want to know, what else have you lied? That means that you are deceitful. So that means that you're not going to carry out the tenets of your position in the best way and in the manner in which that it is good for all and your constituents. So what they're doing now is shooting holes at how can you really be able to prosecute this case in good faith, and you don't operate in your particular life that way. That's how it's supposed to be, and that's even for the preachers. And that's why these people are failing with these things. So now they can shoot holes in it. So now, whether we agree with what you're saying, and I'm not saying that what you're saying doesn't have validity, but that's not the rule that the world works on. So that's why now, even though she denied it or tried to ignore it, she has to come out and say that. And now they're getting ready to punch holes through everything that she has and she doesn't, and it's going to undermine all her good work in getting them there. That's the problem.
Exactly. That's the problem. And also the other, hold on. Also the other layer to this is in that affair, she was using taxpayers' money to fund her affair and travel around with her lover. So that's
Yeah,
when her
Okay, that part I don't
integrity
agree with.
is,
that part.
That
yeah.
part
Yes.
I have an issue with across the board when anybody says this type of stuff happens. As far as like who you're sleeping with, if it doesn't matter that the president of the United States can have an affair and everybody's just supposed to separate it and what you do in the bedroom doesn't have anything to do with how you run the country, then all of a sudden for us to put these parameters on regular schmegular people is where my rub is. I should not get I in California I have to get my car registered and smogged, but the industries out here are polluting the air, but I get fined if my car isn't registered and smogged properly. I
Well,
have an
let's
issue with
just
that.
call it
I
like it
have an
is,
issue
though.
with for
There's a
them
white
to try
rule
to
and
make
there's a black rule.
okay.
So she's a black person. She's not gonna get away with that. So you're right about the president, and it's about
Well,
power. So who's in power? So the companies and the corporations and the presidents are in power, but for us little people, we've always been catching it. That's how it just works in the world.
but
And I'm
I'm
not
not
saying it's
saying
right, but I'm just saying that when you black, you got to be
ah
225 times
no,
above
no,
reproach.
mm-mm, mm-mm. I feel
I'm
like
not
we all
saying
just
that it's
have to be
right, but that's
human.
how it is. So if
I'm just
anybody
saying
can deny that's how it is, then they can deny it. But in my life, when I'm 63 years old, that's how they got one rule for them and one rule for us. So
I
sister ought to
understand
know
that.
that she can't get away with that.
I understand what you're saying also. And my thing is that my opinion is that just because it's happening doesn't make it right. Just because we've been
I never
accepting
said
it
it didn't, but I'm just
doesn't
saying
make
that
it
it does
right. And so, but
happen.
that's just but I mean, I was just saying what I feel, and you're telling me what
Oh, I'm
you
not
feel and how
denying that what
it's
you
been
feel,
going
that's what you
on.
feel. But what I'm
But
saying,
I'm
what we
just saying
feel
the
and what's
reason
real are two
why,
different things sometimes. And that's all I'm just saying. So I get what you feel and I agree with it. I'm not saying I don't agree with it, but I'm just saying in reality, they come after us
well,
hard.
but the reality also is that the systems that they've set up, if we get a strong person to combat this, she's a good lawyer. Maybe she can say it herself that, look, it doesn't matter for them, therefore it shouldn't matter for me, period. And then maybe we can move on in a way in this world where finally it won't have to be two different things. I acknowledge that it is, but I'm acknowledging also that it's wrong. And I'm acknowledging also that me speaking up about it and other people speaking up about it might give it a chance to change in the future as far as real versus feel. So we can reel this thing, we
I
can
think
feel
both of
this
you,
thing, but I'm just still saying that
I'm just
the
saying nobody's
bottom line
disagreeing
is
with you.
yeah,
Nobody's
no, but I
disagreeing
think
with
both of
you.
you ladies, hold on. I think both of you ladies raised very good points. But we all know when it comes to us in higher positions of power, the goalpost always is moving,
Hmm.
was the
right?
guy white or
We are
black that she
judged,
was doing?
Claudine
excuse
Gray.
me?
Is the guy white or black that this lady's having an affair with?
Oh,
It's
he
a
was
brother,
black.
Was his wife white or black that he was?
his
She's
sister.
black.
Oh, and was she married at all? She was single mingle?
Who,
This
Fanny?
lady
No,
right here who's in trouble? Or was she married also?
she was single, sleeping with a married man, and Trump collaborated with his ex-wife and had the divorce decree documents open, and she was able to produce the receipts that they were using state funds to travel around and have an affair. Fani Willis had to testify in their divorce.
And she lied, she perjured herself in that case?
I didn't actually see the actual testimony. I don't believe
Hmm.
she perjured herself. I think
No, she just ignored it.
she just ignored it.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then they
Yeah.
came, they kept pressing her and to the point, and then they got the wife in. So then when she wouldn't come through, then they went and got the wife. You know how they do. They keep escalating until they made her. They forced her hand, basically.
Yeah,
So
they
she
were
had to
trying to
say
get her to
something.
step down. They were trying to get her to step down from the
Right.
case.
But she wasn't
So
doing that.
ultimately, she's forced to admit the relationship, and that's all she's willing to do at this point.
Mm.
But what they're trying to do is question, get her credibility questioned, so that they can end up reviewing all of her cases.
And then that's even interesting. So they're going to review all her cases. That's interesting. But and it's that's a lot of money for the taxpayers and stuff. I feel like if she just admits it, then maybe they can move on. I mean, now it's a little late, but the
Oh, no,
bottom
they're not going to.
line
They
is,
got their teeth and sunk in that woman. They get ready to take her to task, honey.
Now you
They
know
gonna,
Trump is
especially
not
Trump
going to lay down that easy. You know Trump is not going to lay down that
and
easy.
all his crazy supporters. Oh no, they want to see, because they want to see that man as a president. Okay, and that's the shameful part of it. You
And
know,
that's what
I'm
they're
not.
doing.
I don't disagree with anything in your opinion and any of that. I'm just saying that they getting ready. They see blood. They're getting ready to sink their teeth in her, and they ain't gonna let her go like a pit bull.
Yeah, James said it. He said they're going to make an example of her because
They
they
are.
want to see Trump as president.
They do. And the bad part about it is that the sister she had a good thing going, and she just, like I said, when we do stuff, we have to make sure that we're doing it and we have impeccable character. Just like the Obamas, they didn't want them in there, but they could not find nothing on them, because if they did, they would have brought it up. What they did is when they couldn't find anything, they trumped something up on them. He was he was a Muslim, he was this, that, he wasn't a citizen, and all the rest of that stuff. They just try to trump something. But the bottom line is that they're going in for that sister. And that's why she had a good case. She had a really good case. And I hate that she did this, because she would have, now they're getting ready to take her to task. And I think that this is going to all blow up in everybody's face.
Especially
Exactly.
after what happened to
Exactly.
Claudine Gray. Like, when black people get in these positions of power, you are under attack. Look at what happened to Claudine Gray. She got ran out of her position at Harvard. You know, it's not safe anymore to be in these high up positions. There will be coordinated attacks. They will find anything. You can't
And
give them
look what they
any
tried to
wiggle.
do with Stacey Abrams, but she was so impeccable, they couldn't find nothing. Not only was she impeccable, and so because of that, and she made sure she was impeccable because her mission was more important than her professional life. And that's how she got them people to get Georgia. And they were so mad at that woman, but they couldn't do nothing because their hands were tied, because Stacey Abrams was impeccable.
She was clean. Her hands was
Yes, her
clean.
character was impeccable.
And we all know these clear politicians, they play dirty because they want the power. They want to remain in power. They feel threatened by all our people getting these higher positions. So they'll stop at nothing to ruin us so that we're not there. But now
Right,
people
because
are
they don't
figuring
want
it
us.
out.
Yeah, and then they don't want us to be bigger than what we are. We have to say, because it's all basically embedded in the politics that we have. We don't have that leg up.
We don't.
And I
We
agree
don't.
with you curves that if we do start speaking up, but it's not like back in the days where they had sit-ins and they protested and everything. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to choose a path of least resistance. But I believe if we did come together and said something, that's why I say I don't disagree. I just believe that the way our society is set up now, that it's so easy, and then especially with social media, we didn't have all that stuff before where they could just throw all this dirt in our faces and then we become either distracted, or either we buy into this manufactured stuff, that it keeps us from getting together. And a lot of people like I said, like to choose a path of least resistance.
Curves, you got any other thoughts before I move on to the next story? I take that as a no. You're on mute. All right, up next, I want to get into some good news. I want to celebrate Megan Thee Stallion. She is winning, okay? May the best woman win. And I just want to say, like, her actions compared to Nicki actions, Nicki diminished her brand by her behavior. She's been throwing shots at Meg for the longest in her music. And finally, like, you can't keep poking the bear, and you don't expect nothing to happen back eventually. Okay. And so Megan did her big one. She made 2 statements in that song about Nicki Minaj. And one statement that stuck was the Megan Laws one. Well, if you ask me, Megan's been winning ever since, because Nicki Minaj, her behavior, she's been unhinged. Okay, I'm talking whole weekend rants, 72 hours on station head, bashing her. And it's just giving, you're bothered, you're jealous. I went over this week, Azalea Banks even spoke out, and she put some validity behind this. Like, Nicki is not really mad at Megan. She's mad because she wants to be a Roc Nation girl. And as you all know, Rock Nation, who's run by Jay-Z and Beyonce, okay, they have co-signed Megan throughout her career. Now, my theory is, and my opinion is, once Nicki married that felon, she diminished her brand, and a lot of people did not want to work with her. She lost brand partnerships. Nobody want to deal with that. You know what I mean? Um, but she takes shots and low blows at people on a regular basis. She also threw shots at official Ken and Barbie, who doxed her with all the liens she has against her. Her whole tour has a lien on it. All right, has a lien on it. She will be touring for free. Okay,
No.
she has so many liens and loans. She's broke.
No.
She is broke. Why? Because she married the wrong partner. She married that felon who drained everything from her. Everything, financially, emotionally, everything. And now she's out here, she's trying to still drive this narrative that he was wrongly convicted and he was a young boy. Girl, you the only one that believe that bull swanky, because he's a convicted felon. And I'm putting it lightly for you two. Now, I like the way Megan has been conducting herself. She has been keeping her cool about her. She's been happy. She's been going on. She dropped the album and she kept it moving. Well, your girl, and I think the other thing that Nicki is jealous of with Megan, Megan is an independent artist, right? So she announced yesterday that she has signed a new distribution deal. Okay, shout out to the Neighborhood Talks for this with Warner Music. Okay, so Megan Thee Stallion signs a deal with Warner Music Group for distribution and resources. Will keep her masters in publishing, which is very important. And she posted, "I'm really focused on building an empire," and I believe her. And let me tell you something. This is her college education taking effect. This is the importance of education, people, so that you can understand business. All right. And she had to take her original label 1501 to court to renegotiate her contract, and she is winning. All right.
Yes.
So Megan posted, "Thank you, God. Hotties, today history was made. Today I signed a distribution deal with my new family, Warner Music, where I maintain my independence as an artist and own my masters in publishing." Lil Wayne sold off Nicki Minaj's masters in publishing because she didn't own it. Yeah. So no matter how reputable she is, all the music she put out there through all the years, she doesn't own it. She doesn't own it. And this is why we're broke.
Damn.
Okay? This is the first deal of its kind. I hope artists still on the come up, or even artists who are already established, never get discouraged by all the obstacles that come with the industry. Even with all the odds against me, I fought for myself. The hotties fought for me, and Rock Nation fought for me too. This is what Nicki is mad about. Okay? Because she feels like she's the best. She feels like she's the queen of hip hop, which was a title she gave herself, the story for another day. And she said, "I'm forever grateful. Let's really keep running it up, hotties." Shout out to Mama Holly, who is her mom. Thank God. I know she's gotten me through all this. Hashtag Hot Girl Productions. She's out here making big moves while you're sitting on here on station head for hours, unhinged. Don't you have a tour? Support for, ma'am.
You
What
know,
are your thoughts, ladies?
They not mad at Megan. They mad at Megan's life. And I love it for her.
Period.
I am so glad that her mom Angel was able to set all this up and be her guardian for real. And oh my gosh, poor Nikki. What's the next 96 hours going to be like if the last 96 hours she was unhinged? Ooh wee! This is going to really. And then Nikki's music was removed, you guys, from TikTok. Did you see that? Her whole
Yeah,
catalog
because
was all of her
they lost
music.
that contract.
Yeah. So yeah, God don't like ugly and very little pretty. That's what I have to say.
Oh, look, Megan's mother used to be a battle rapper.
Exactly. She gained
Her
it
name was
honestly.
her name was Hollywood.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Well,
Fun
this is
fact.
what I think. Megan had did a video a long time ago, right after she got shot, and she was talking about how people were talking and dogging her and all the rest of that, and how she felt so alone. She was outside in the backyard or whatever. She was talking about how she was so alone, how she had lost everybody, and she's alone in this world. And at this time, she really wished she had a mom. And oh my God, it just drew me so much closer to that young girl. I always liked her anyway. But one thing I can say about her is that she persevered. And yes, she went on ahead and went to school, got a degree and everything else, and people are buying into her. Another thing that Nicki is mad about, in which she has been dissing Beyonce, and they said that Beyonce, they believe that at first Beyonce had was like, "Hey, Nicki, da 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 da," and they were pretty cool. But when she married that Kenneth Petty, that they put some distance because Beyonce don't like nothing negative with her. Okay, then when she picked up Megan, then Nicki got really pissed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
And then when Megan
she.
did that collab with Cardi, that really put her over the top.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That really put her over the top,
But
and she got really pissed at that. She's even dissed Beyonce in her records, but there's a lot of people who are pulling away from Nicki, just like you said, because they're tired of that. You know what I mean? And then not only that, how she tries to engage the barbs and everything. They want to actually deface this woman's mama's burial site. Come on. Now one thing is, speaking of Megan's Law, I know that the Megan's Law parents were thinking about coming at Megan, but I said a little
They have
silent
no
prayer.
case. I don't even get that. There is no case. I
That's
think
what
it's
I
just
was
a
saying too. I
drama.
didn't think they have a case either, and I was praying that they wouldn't, because
No,
I don't
you
want. Go ahead,
ridiculous.
honey.
No, I'm sorry. It's just that I'm sorry. See, this is the things that in America, you guys can just sue for anything. You can't try that in the UK. No, you won't even get like actual lawyers who'll take the case.
You're right, because we can't sue for anything. You stub your toe, you can sue for it. But that's what I was hoping, Gina. I said a little prayer. I hope they don't have a leg to stand on, because I don't want nothing to mess up this girl's momentum, because it's her time.
it is her time. It's her
So
time. And I say give her flowers. Like people are like, oh, can she maintain the number one spot? I think absolutely she can. I have faith in Megan and her abilities, in her art, in her skill set. I mean, she's clear headed. She went away. She got herself together. You know what I mean? I think it's only up for here. I think her Hot Girl Summer Tour is going to be successful. And if I can get tickets, I will be there. Naughty Crew, we will be there.
And Nadia, I had sent you, but I sent it on Facebook, so I sent it to your actual business page. So I don't know if you got it, but it was this young girl who rapped, and I don't know what her name is, but I sent it to you in the Facebook Messenger. Boy, she tore Nicki apart. Okay,
oh my
I'm
gosh,
just
did you
telling
see that rapper who literally ate? Yes, that rapper who
you.
just
Saw
ate
her?
her.
She ate. I'm telling you, she
It's
ate Nicki.
preseason.
Who is she?
I don't know,
All
but
right,
man, it's preseason on
I'm
Nicki
gonna look
now.
for it. I'm
Oh
gonna
gosh,
there's people backing Megan Thee Stallion. Kevin Lyles of 300 Entertainment explains why he was drawn to Megan Thee Stallion. And shout out to the Jasmine brand. But I think this really says what it is. And sometimes you gotta know when to leave the game before it leaves you. And Nicki just wanted to just be the only one. And I think ultimately that she sealed her fate with that attitude. Here we go.
And Megan Thee Stallion early on in that first meeting with her, what was it about her that you saw that made you go, yeah, I need her on my roster?
Well, I mean, back then we just felt she was something different. She was a rapper's rapper. She was she didn't want to compete with females. She wanted to be the best. And as she matured and grew up, and we saw entrepreneur in her, and that's why I celebrate the deal that Max, Lusada, and they did together at a level that's global. So I'm just excited, and I love going to work for everybody every day.
What was it that you saw in Megan Thee Stallion early on in that first meeting?
She's more business friendly. Okay, they could present Megan globally, and I think that's what's happening here. And Nicki, he does, and Megan's cousin did Nicki too. Let me try to go to Facebook.
I was gonna say, I wanted to provide a different perspective because you guys know I don't like Nicki, but I've also said multiple times I'm not the biggest fan of Megan as a person. But let me be honest, I think Nicki's issue was that I think when Nicki was coming up, I think she dealt with a lot of misogyny in the industry. And I do think that Nicki battled with a lot of misogyny. And I think that she's internalized a lot of misogyny that she's taken on in the industry. And rather than aiming it at the men, because I think Nicki's been done dirty by a lot of men. Let's be honest. Meek Mill abused her. Drake and Lil Wayne and all of those guys, Jay-Z, she told them that Meek Mill abused her and they still hung out with her, yet never turned on them. Lil Wayne sold basically most of Young Money's catalog for 100 million, and that includes half of Nicki's catalog. Nicki's been done dirty by a lot of men in the industry, and I think Nicki is someone who she's deeply internalized a lot of the misogyny that she's experienced in the industry, and I think that rather than aiming it at the men who a lot of them have done her dirty, I think she's taken it out on other women, and I think that's what's leading to her downfall. I think it's because listening to her on Station Head, I feel like Nicki feels like she's never gotten the sympathy or the protection that she deserves. I think Nicki feels like she's done a lot. She's basically like one of those old people who like, I had it rough. I got all of this hate. I'm not getting half the things that I've been rewarded with. And I think she's like one of those old people at the office. Well, if I have to suffer, you have to suffer too. And I think that she sees that these younger girls are getting it easier than her. Because I remember this conversation she had with Coyle Ray, where Coyle Ray was talking about the hate that she got. And then Nicki Minaj said, listen, the hate that you got is nothing compared to the hate that I got. So I think Nicki's mentality is, I got all of this hate and I suffered so much for this industry. Nobody felt bad for me. I never got the sympathy that I had to suffer. And then I think she sees younger girls like Megan who, to her, they get the sympathy, they get the Grammys, they get the things that she doesn't have it. And I think she's resentful of it. And the real problem in the industry is that it's misogyny. It's the men behind it. It's the white executives who blackballed her from the Grammys because she was very outspoken for herself. At that time, she was being an outspoken Black woman and she was punished for it. Instead of aiming her industry at the white men who blackballed her, she took it out on Lotto. She's, rather than getting mad at Drake and Meek for still siding with a domestic abuser when they were friends with her, when they knew that Meek Mill abused her, she never turned on Drake and the men for siding with Meek Mill. She internalizes that misogyny and takes it out on other people. Because I'm sure Jay-Z knew that Meek Mill was abusing Nicki. I'm sure that Jay-Z knew still worked with Meek Mill, and I think she's resentful towards that. Nicki feels like, I work hard. Why doesn't Rock Nation do a deal with me? Instead, she's probably thinking they give it to this new girl over me. And so she's thinking that I worked hard, I deserve all of these things, and I'm not getting my accolades. And so she takes it out on these girls rather than celebrating them. It's like she thinks that it's not fair. And I think she's let all of that hatred make her into a bitter person. Because I'm trying to understand where this is coming from. And this is the only way I can try to understand where Nicki's hatred and bitterness is coming from. What does everyone else think?
Well, I think she definitely comes up from a lineage of trauma, especially from who her father is. Okay, we all know he was abusive towards her mom, and then her brother. Now, if her brother was willing to abuse a young girl at 12 years old, I don't put him past him to try it on his sister. So I think she has a lot of deep-rooted unresolved trauma that she has not yet dealt with. And that's why she continues to make poor decisions. And she really messed up her career when she married Kenneth Petty. Okay. And she doesn't want to take accountability for that. But I really believe in her heart of heart, she does not believe that there's anything wrong with being with a person like him. And I'm trying to keep it cute for you
because
two.
she's like him. The thing is, Nicki deep down is like Kenneth. She's not a nice person. Like, here's the thing, none of us want Nicki's downfall. I hate this narrative that, the thing is, there are people who hate Nicki unfairly, right? If we're being objective. None of us on this panel want Nicki's downfall. In the real world, we want Nicki to be the queen. Nicki deserves, realistically, to be up there with Rihanna and Beyonce. I used to call them the Holy Trinity about 7 years ago, because they were our pioneers. But Nicki has brought herself down. You've let bitterness and like internalized misogyny turn you into a different person. Nicki could have said, listen, I suffered a lot in this industry and there are things that I went through, but let me create a safer environment for these girls so that way they don't have to suffer the same way that I suffered. Nicki grew up with an all boys club, and that honestly will make you very misogynistic if you are growing up, because hip hop was a boys club. Okay, I was gonna say, Nicki came up at a time when there were no other female rappers. That will probably make you internally misogynistic, right? And again, I think that's partially why Nicki is what she is. But rather than looking at it and saying, listen, it's not the women that are the problem, it's the men in the hip hop environment who create these awful spaces for women. And Nicki, you could have been that pioneer to say, listen, I went through a lot of hurt in this industry. Let me create a better future for the other girls after me. But it's like she wants these other girls to suffer the same way that she did. She wants to beat them down. And it's so upsetting.
And
It's like,
to me, when I see her slut shaming Megan Thee Stallion, to me, she's projecting. Because she was doing the same thing. And I think the main thing she butthurt about is Megan did it and came up better. She came up in the end. She's still an independent artist. She has a distribution and things like that. So that's why she's a mean girl to other female rappers. I
but who are
found the
Nicki's
clip.
lawyers? But who are Nicki's lawyers? This is what I'm saying. Like,
I don't think Nicki has money to.
Who was her management?
I don't think
Why?
Nicki has money to have lawyers.
But my thing is that, because has anybody noticed in the past few years, first of all, has anyone noticed that Nicki doesn't go out? Like, am I the only person who's noticed that? I never see Nicki go out to social events with other celebrities. Like, it seems like Nicki never hangs out anymore. I never see her secure big brand deals anymore. Like, has anybody noticed this over the past 4 years? Where are Nicki's brand deals? Her deal with Queen Radio fell off. She was supposed to, she never renewed her deal with Apple. Her deal with Amazon AMP died. Like, what is going on with Nicki's brand deals? Am I the only one who's seen this?
I know you're not. She had a clothing line. It was in Kmart, but Kmart shut down. So that eliminated the clothing line. But they never rebranded and sent it to another distribution store. But what brand wants to partner with someone who makes the decision to marry that felon?
Yeah,
okay, and I think the reason why she's always in the house and isolated. Look at the screen. That butt right there is causing her problems.
You know what?
She needs to.
That's
so instead
horrible.
of making fun of Megan, talking about getting on her good foot, she better find her good sheet, because that don't look healthy. That
Her
looks like
Democrat and Republicans are looking really horrible right here.
Okay.
Like, Nicki should be having permit deals. Like, I'm just so confused. Like, where are her fashion deals? Like, why
But I agree with you, but she don't get along with anybody. She is too toxic. So now I agree with what Knotty says, because first of all, there are morality clauses a lot of times with these companies. But the other thing is that she probably don't get along with nobody. Look how she just acts on a regular basis. You know what I mean? You can't collaborate with somebody like that.
And did y'all see how her husband acted on the red carpet? Hello. Like, nobody wants to deal with that. And if he comes along with you.
I missed it. What did he do?
He shows the video, Knotty. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, hold on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Nicki should be doing brand deals. Like, why am I not seeing her in adverts? Like, I have not seen Nicki really have any type of big deals in about 4 years. Like, since 2018, 2019, that was the last time I saw her getting huge deals. Like, I don't see this girl anywhere. I don't see her out at events. Nobody sees her, which is...
Well, she married Tommy in 2019. You align yourself with the SA dude, and of course you don't have nothing happen. She started dating him in 2018, and they got married in 2019.
And then A lot of these brands have our family brands too. Sometimes if she was so, how you going to bring a pedo around? In certain areas, people. He first of all, he does have restrictions, I'm sure. Okay, and
Yeah,
then
he can't have kids over. Remember with his child, they can't have sleepovers, they can't have parties because he's an
right, he can't even go to the kids' school. He can't even go to parent teacher conference. Okay,
Exactly. He can't even go to parent teacher conference. He can't even pick up his son from school. He can't even go to kids' parties with his son. I know that that's doing something to Nicki because you cannot have a normal childhood with your son. And I know that's killing Nicki behind the scenes.
and then some of these brands are international, and so some countries don't want convicted felons over there. You can't go.
Exactly. I'm sure that Kenneth can't even travel to a lot of places anymore. So
No.
you can't tell me that this isn't messing with Nicki.
When did Nicki name herself after Roman Polanski, the SA dude? Like that could be another deterrent from anybody that was going to endorse.
I don't think that affected her career because that did not affect her career because she's been going by Roman since 2010 and that did nothing to stop her bag. I don't like people this one just don't care about the Roman thing as much. I think we're just saying it now because in hindsight it was creepy, but it never stopped her bag for it to come up because nobody really cared, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But looking back in hindsight, naming your alter ego after
people are connecting it now, though. It doesn't matter. Everything she does
is weird.
It's weird, not it?
And thing is, I never clocked that it was actually named after Roman Polanski,
And she turned into an egomaniac. Okay, that's just basically what it is. It's just Nicki, and she acts like she's the only rapper in the whole industry. Or supposed to be the only rapper in there. She's got a problem with every female rapper. It seems like to me.
Yep, it's a
So who's
pattern.
And Ice Spice, because JC and Ice Spice literally sucked the farts out of her.
They did what, Gina?
JC and Ice Spice literally sucked the farts out of Nicki. And I mean that literally. Pun intended.
Why you say that though?
It's time for a new reign. It's time for a new top hip hop girl, and she's just having the hardest time accepting it. And rather than her bow out gracefully and pass the baton, she just wants to.
I reject this notion that we should have a top hip hop girl. Let all the girls eat. I'm tired of this whole there can only be one. It's done. The girls will all be successful and eat. Nicki's the only one who's still holding on to the queen. Like we have for the men, we have J. Cole, we have Kendrick Lamar, we have Future. All these men are so great. I don't think Future's the king and J. Cole's king, Kendrick's the king. Nah, all the guys are awesome. All the girls are awesome. Let's just let all the girls win and eat. I'm tired of this whole
all of them are going around.
Let them all
and
eat.
Let's be quite honest. Like the music industry is dying out. Let me see what this is.
The thing is, Nicki's not tweeting as much, so I'm hoping that maybe somebody got to her. Like she's kind of been going more quiet. I don't know if she's crashing out or having a mental. I mean, I think she's having a mental breakdown, but I hope someone got to her behind the scenes.
She's too narcissistic. They didn't get to her soon enough because she was unhinged all over Stationhead. It's crazy. And then you could see the differences between her and Megan. Megan came in, she was fun, she was funky, she threw her little jab and she got out of there. At the end of the day, she's gonna let her work speak for itself.
Look, listen. I'm sure Nicki probably does have some valid reasons to dislike Megan. Maybe, listen, I personally think that, sure, probably Megan was sucking up to Nicki to get a feature and probably sneak dissing Cardi B. But Nicki, you've been in the industry a long time. Listen, I'm not saying it doesn't hurt, but the music industry is so opportunistic. People do look for a come up, and unfortunately, people step on you the other way. I'm not saying it's nice, but it is what it is. Nicki, just let it go. Stop holding on to the hatred. Listen. Cardi B is many things, but Cardi B is a forgiving person. Because I remember when Jason Lee said that he introduced Megan and Cardi, and it was very awkward at first. And then they had issues to address. And I'm sure Megan probably apologized for saying some things, and Cardi forgave it. And Cardi forgave it, and they did WAP. That's how it should be. That is how it should be. If you feel like you were done wrong, let the person apologize, or you just let it go. It's not that deep. You are so talented. You're one of the most successful female rappers of all time. My thing is, where are the visuals for Pink Friday 2? You were supposed to be going on tour. I don't see no damn visuals for Pink Friday 2. You're supposed to be on tour. I'm very concerned about how this tour is going to look like now, because I don't think you're even rehearsing for this tour, because at this point you should be knee deep in rehearsals and production at this point. I'm just like, you should be focusing on yourself and on your album, which did very well. So I'm not getting it. You're too focused on what other girls are doing. Cardi B said the same thing. Remy Ma said the same thing. Lil Kim said the same thing. You're too obsessed with other girls.
She is. But she, Kenneth Petty here, I think I have a little something in regards to that. He acted a complete fool on the red carpet. Like, you can't take him anywhere. You cannot take him anywhere. And she's trying to do business. And he's just not the type that you could take to do business with. He's too ratchet. He's too institutionalized. Like, I don't even think he knows how to act. Look at him. He can't even dress properly.
Said he is waiting for Offset to act stupid. So what does that mean?
Yeah, he's throwing threats on the red carpet.
Proceeded to round up
this is why
his 40-year-old plus goons and stand out on a street corner early hours of the morning instead of being a husband and a father, and send more threats to Offset and his family. And guys, please pay attention to the names of these users that are sending threats.
Offset, where you at? That's it. Gotta spend that shit. I'm like a Zod, nigga.
Like, how old are you? How old are you? This is the people she's surrounding herself with. You're calling Offset out to come have a street fight? He's trash. Her husband is trash. And that's why people are backing up from her and not working with her. And it's her own fault. She has to take accountability for the decisions she made in her personal life. And they're affecting her career-wise. They're affecting her pockets. He is trash. And then Offset, he comes off on the tail end. Like, I'm on a plane. He's jumping off the PJ. Like, I can't be bothered. I'm jumping off. Like, I'm a father. And Offset is a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? He's a cheater. Say what you want, but he's a good father. He gonna make sure he there for his kids. But this guy, he don't care how he affect his wife. He don't care how he affect his son, because he is trash. Period. He acted like a complete fool, and that's why people don't want to be bothered. Hey, Juby Buggin. Yeah, Dudok. I feel like she messed herself up by trying to blackball other female artists. I agree with that. Yes, nobody gonna let her destroy their brand. Period. Maybe Balenciaga would work with her, but because they down with the Kardashians. But
I don't even know, because
that's the only way.
Nicki's not a fashion girl. That's the thing. Like, I think the thing is, Nicki in the beginning used to be like a fashion girl when she was doing all of those colorful hairstyles. But I feel like Nicki's kind of moved away from fashion now. Realistically, Cardi B is a fashion girl. Doja Cat is a fashion girl. Those girls are very, very fashionable. Nicki isn't a fashion girl at this point. And to be honest, because Nicki doesn't go out anywhere, like, realistically, if I was Balenciaga, and if I'm being objective, I would not work with Nicki. One, because Nicki's not a fashion girl. Two, Nicki doesn't go out enough. Like, you don't see her at events, you don't see her anywhere. So it's like, why would I use
nobody
you for my
invites
brand?
her. She
I'm saying, it's like,
up.
why would I use you for my brand if you're not going anywhere endorsing my clothes? Like, you have to go out a lot endorsing Balenciaga to be able to get a brand deal. Nicki doesn't go out, so it's literally not worth it. And this isn't me just hating because it's now convenient to hate Nicki. It's just objectively true.
It's definitely true. And I believe she doesn't go out because Kenneth is too jealous and insecure. He can't go anywhere, so she can't go anywhere. But you got yourself
that's a good point.
You got yourself put on house arrest by publicly throwing threats out to Offset and Cardi B. Like, I'm over that beef. Like, boy, get over it, okay? Like, stop it. Like Cardi B, she's a lot of things, and Offset is a lot of things, but they're not stupid enough to come down to your level. And that's all it is. He wanted to bring them down to his level, but they're smarter than that, sir. You just made yourself look dumb because guess what? You were on probation or parole. You got violated and put on house arrest because they treated you like the trash you were. You knew you shouldn't be throwing threats out there publicly. You knew you shouldn't be on social media. He's not even supposed to be on social media. Nicki, your man can't even be on social media. Your man can't even take your son to school. Your son will never have friends because of him. Until you leave that man, your son will be isolated just like you are. And shame on you as a mother. You should want more for your son. And I'm not speaking ill of her son or anything like that. I'm just holding that woman accountable for her decision making and who she chose to breed with. So Deshaun, let me get in some of these comments. She said, but she's not the first female rapper. If she wasn't such a mean girl in the beginning, those older female rappers would have embraced her. Oh, people talking about her butt picture. Okay, looking like mashed potatoes. Yes. It's looking like infestation shell. It's looking like lumpity lump lump lump. It's looking like some things are dropping. It's looking like you need surgery to get that taken out of your body right away, which probably has a direct effect on what's going on with her. Her health is probably affecting her mental and her attitude. He ain't nothing without Nicki, and he's using Nicki. He told that to the ex when he left her. He said, I need to go get this bag. He thought Nicki Minaj, she gassed her up. She thought her celebrity was going to be enough for them to switch the conviction. But I'm sorry. You have to be delusional to think that you're going to get a already convicted felon who served time turned around and removed from the registry. She's ridiculous. And that's what she spent all her money on, defending that low vibrational man who is not equally yoked with.
Nicki thought that she was going to harass Jennifer and then get her to recant her statement. That way he would no longer be registered as an S offender. That way she could bring him out in public and not feel shame or go through half the things that she did. She did not expect that Jennifer would fight back, publicly blast her, and file a lawsuit against her and Kenneth.
Exactly. So, I mean, she done wrote herself a check she can't cash. And rather her keep it real with herself and take accountability for her actions and go take care of her mental and walk through her trauma and face her trauma, she terrorizes other female rappers and projects everything she is. You can slut shame Megan all you want, but you were first. You were a slut first. Period. You did the same goddamn thing. And let's not get in the list of peens that's on your back. All right, y'all go ahead. I'm gonna look through these comments. Swirl Game says, I feel like Nicki is bitter and in a retirement stage. More than that. Nicki always craved Beyonce and Jay-Z attention. She absolutely has. Pink Print and one of the barbs in my comments trying to get at me. Let me tell you, to all the barbs and the rock tards, independent thinking over here. I don't just be following people. Look, I don't believe in idolatry, and if you're a good artist, I will support you to the end. But when I just am not in the business of rewarding bad behavior, and this girl has been mean and nasty towards females and men for years, and her day of reckoning is here. Hey, everybody! Thank y'all for joining me. Kenneth Cooper thinks it's edited folders. You have a right to your opinion, sir. But I do remember the woman's butt cheek deflating mid-performance while she was on stage. Hey, Deshaun. All right. So, yeah. Kim, thank you for this clip. Let me play this clip. I have to play it a certain way so we don't get copyright strike. But Famous versus Nicki Minaj. Oop, a female rapper called Famous just dropped a Nicki Minaj diss. How did she do? Let's go. Everybody is using your beat, your song, and just getting clout off of you. just getting clout off of you. I was watching Tasha K last night because I wanted to hear her thoughts on the Nicki Minaj and the Wendy Williams situation. And I think she wrapped it up quite nicely. Like, she responded to Meg Thee Stallion in less time than Diddy responded to Cassie's lawsuit. A hit dog hollered. And guess what? By her doing that, she pushed all that attention over to Meg.
Literally giving Megan the #1 song on Billboard, because Hiss is gonna debut at #1. Megan will become the first, I think, one of the first like independent female artists in history to have a song at #1. And at this point, Nicki, it's because of you, Nicki. Like, if I was petty, I would actually thank Nicki Minaj for making my song go #1. And then I'd say, couldn't do it without you, Nicki. If I was very petty, I would do that. I know she wouldn't, but I would, to rub it in her face.
Exactly. So let's listen to this track.
Person could be two things, and I agree. Cause you say you're the queen of the street, the hater too. How the hell you got so many wins, but so afraid to lose, afraid to see another rap bitch come in the game and be as great as you. That shit you did to Kim, they'll eat away at you. That's why you hold that crown so tight, afraid somebody gon' take it away from you. Ain't nobody touching your business.
She's saying nothing but facts. She is saying nothing but facts. Like, how are these all these? I've never even heard of this young woman. Stay coming out and eating you alive, Nicki. This is your slice, a humble pie, honey.
And you still complaining, bitch. What the fuck you went now? Not for you to talk about somebody's mother who died. When your own father tried to take your own mother life. You should be thinking God, he didn't burn her alive. Instead,
people that live in glass houses should not throw stones, especially when you got your own demons and skeletons that you need to deal with.
Think that you's a god because you so sick in the mouth. Don't give a fuck about how good of a rap you can rhyme. Don't let this cokehead cross too many lines. You don't give a damn about her fame or your life in the line. Cause I be giving bitches praise and I just don't idolize. And I don't even miss your shit about them.
I love that line. I be giving itches praise and I don't idolize. And I just think that these stands, these fan bases need to stop with all the foolery. And you know what? They bringing charges against a couple of the barbs. So, like, the law is not going to take it anymore. This woman does not even care. She wouldn't even breathe on you if she saw you in person. You see her attitude, how stank she is? She ain't going to bail you out. And y'all going out here and breaking the laws for somebody who don't care about you. Like, people need to get back to independent thinking and stop all this idolatry, because God is a jealous God. And if you really a person of God, you understand what I'm saying, all right? And idolatry is one of the biggest sins.
If he's a pervert, you the one who gotta fuck him now. So it don't bother me. You fucking niggas who are fucking shot. Ooh, mama always told me I should watch my mouth. First, I gotta get these demons out the fucking house. Man, that you sold all the records you could sell. I think it's time that you finally sent Roman ass back to hell. You say you the shit. Well, shit, I ain't never liked how shit. Time to read on a bitch like Braille. AOL still send the queen quick mail. Dear Your Majesty, I would like to thank you for your many years of services. However, right now we are more concerned with you having a public mental breakdown.
Period. She killed that track. People coming out here ripping you, and you opened yourself up for that. Thank you, Kim, for that clip.
You're welcome.
She has butt implants, and those are old school teens. LO, she need to go back for a redo, like K Michelle. Yeah, got them. She got them backdoor shots. Let me see. The doll said, "Hey Kim." The doll said, "I remember Nicki Tomboy days where she thought she was a boy." Okay.
You guys see those videos of her, like Nicki? Like, the thing is, when I first saw him, I literally couldn't recognize it was Nicki. Like, genuinely, like she actually like a boy. Like, you cannot tell it was Nicki. Have you seen the video?
Go back and look at that. I don't even remember that. I just remember my first knowing her. She played on a dude's video, and the girls were coming out sweeping, and she had a cute little pink outfit, and they had umbrellas or something. I can't remember that song. But that's what I remember Nicki coming out first. I'm gonna have to see it when she get time for it.
You gotta find it. Like, I literally had no idea it was Nicki. Like, and to the point that I had to go to the comments because I didn't think it was her. And I was like, "That's Nicki," and I was like, "What?" Because she's got like a hoodie on, and legitimately she looks like a tomboy. Like, because Nicki's very feminine and girly, so it's like, so when you look at her, I was like, "Oh no, she's like completely in a hoodie," and you just can't tell it's her.
It's just let me see. I'm trying to find.
I just sent it to you. I DM'd it to you, Knotty, in Instagram.
Okay, thank you.
Child, Nicki's own sister won't even defend her.
What you say, Gina?
Sorry, I was just on Hollywood Unlocked. Nicki's own sister ain't even coming out to defend her or anything.
Really?
Yeah,
Did you guys see?
I don't even think
Wasn't
she treats
Dwayne Martin married to Tisha? And isn't that Dwayne Martin is supposedly Will's, and all that? He just got engaged to a girl that looks like Kanye West
I
girl.
think it's a public stunt, to be quite honest, because of all of the things that have come out.
Yeah, it's a stunt. I think so too. Oh my God, that's exactly what I thought. You're on the same thing.
People need to understand Hollywood. They just play in our faces and they try
All the
to,
time.
create smoke and mirrors all the time. To try to create an illusion. And this is my thing. In this day and age, your sexuality is your own. I don't care. Just walk in your truth. Don't hurt people in the process.
Right.
I just I'm still not here for the sexiers and the Sukihanas. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just not for it. I don't think this is good for Black women. And
what, the
people
Sukianas of the world?
Pardon?
You said the Sukianas of the world?
Yeah, do you know, for me,
The
it was
whole
like,
culture.
for me, like, it was fun in like 2018 and stuff when the City Girls first came along, and I was like, there were limits to it. For me, it peaked at WAP, and I was like, okay, now let's wrap it up. And
You know
then
what?
it just got worse and worse.
Let's see. Naughty, you know what might lend itself to this conversation here? I'm gonna forward this to you. It's a TED Talk that a gentleman did, Michael Smith. A white man, he did a TED Talk recently where he was talking about the music, the culture of Black music, and how it's anti-life for Black people. It's disrespectful to Black women. It's hypersexualized and criminalized. And so in his TED Talk, it's only like 7 minutes of it, but he talks about how he went to a record label and he was like, "Oh, I got songs about killing dogs. Will you play that?" And they're like, "No." "I got songs about doing this. Will you play that?" And they're like, "No." He said, "Oh, I have a song about killing Black people." He's like, and the people were like, "Well, can we listen to it? What's the context?" Yeah, it's
Oh my God.
amazing.
All right, here we go. Let's listen. Shout out to Rizia
Islam. That's Rizza Islam. Rizza. You know Rizza.
All right, here we go.
Black people that get on the radio every day in white-owned companies, white-owned stations with white-owned sponsors that play the role of hypersexualized, hypercriminalized male. I asked these advertisers, I say, "I've got hundreds of songs a day that celebrate killing animals. Will you put them on your station?" They said, "No." "I got hundreds of songs a day that talk about assaulting women and abusing kids. Would you put them on your station?" They said, "No." I said, "I got hundreds of songs a day that talk about murdering Blacks. Would you put them on your stations?" They said, "Well, that depends." Depends on what? Who it's done by and who it's branded for. Because if we can get Black folks to sing about it, we can brand it for our youngest Black audiences, I think there's money to be made. I think there's American appetites to see these people that way. I said, "How can you say that?" They said, "Well, look, it's what these artists know. It's what they, Black people, create. It's, matter of fact, our surveys say it's what they want to hear," which speaks of a sickness. How do we live in a society where somebody says, "You know what, I'm inspired to write a song that celebrates murdering another person." And then a person says, "I'd like to put that on my station." Another person said, "I'd like to pay for it." And then there's people out here in the audience that go, "I'd love to hear it," as long as it's Black guys. Because even white people buy rap music, buy this type of stuff, because we know that when we want to hear about killing each other, we know who to turn to for that type of inspiration. We call it our music. We say we own it. White people buy more rap than Black people. Yeah, we're very careful to turn it down at the top of the Black. Why? Because we know we're just pretending for them. it's more authentic and real. I always ask the companies, what about your name? What about your brand? What about your value? And the largest radio company in the world said this: it's okay that I have drug deals on our black stations. We only have murders on our black youth stations. We support black charities. We give out water at the Martin Luther King parade. I think we've got it covered. We've bought them off. Now, people get upset, the smartest guys in the room again. You're talking about censorship. I don't believe that. I believe in free art. Make whatever you want. I believe you should make music about anti-Semitism. I believe you should make music about killing dogs. I believe in this country you should make music about bashing homosexuals and driving them behind trucks. I believe you should make music about stringing people up on trees. I believe you should make music about killing whitey. I believe you should make all that music. But I also believe that in the mainstream marketplace, people should hesitate associating their name with certain content. You know, there's certain stuff you can't buy at the store, certain stuff you can't get on iTunes because they're
Can you guys hear me? I can't hear me. I can't hear anything, Naughty. Can you guys hear me? I can't hear anything. Naughty?
Yeah. I can hear you. The connection's probably cutting in and out.
Yeah,
How
yeah, but
far?
wasn't that amazing? That
Yeah, it
freaking
was amazing. It was amazing. I'm sorry, guys. StreamYard has been acting crazy for me for the past couple of days. I'm trying to figure it out. I've been like cleaning out my storage and things like that, and nothing is working. Did y'all hear any of the video?
Yeah, we heard like the first couple minutes and then it cut out. You
Okay.
you want to play the video and I can hold my phone up and play what he says for the sound of it?
Um, I got it right here, Curves, on my. I
Okay,
can play
yeah,
it
I
on my.
forgot. No worries. Just
All
trying
right.
to help.
Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
If you could post a link in the comments so people can look at it later too, because I'd like to look at that in its entirety too. That was pretty good.
Yeah, hold on.
But it shows really how we're targeted, even in our inner, and this lends itself to that talk we had over on In My Opinions channel the other day about how our entertainment is triggering. And now to find out that it's triggering on purpose is, oh, it's irritating. It's so freaking irritating. I mean, we saw it, but for them to like admit it to somebody who would come back and tell us, oh
It's
my gosh.
systemic racism. Here we go. I'll try to play it again. Here we go.
there. But we do have black people that get on the radio every day in white-owned companies, white-owned stations with white-owned sponsors that play the role of hypersexualized, hypercriminalized male. I asked these advertisers, I say, I've got hundreds of songs a day that celebrate killing animals. Will you put them on your station? They said, no. I've got hundreds of songs a day that talk about assaulting women and abusing kids. Would you put them on your station? They said, no. I said, I got hundreds of songs a day that talk about murdering blacks. Would you put them on your stations? They said, well, that depends. Depends on what? Who it's done by and who it's branded for. So if we can get black folks to sing about it, we can brand it for our youngest black audiences, I think there's money to be made. I think there's American appetites to see these people that way. I said, how can you say that? They said, well, look, it's what these artists know. It's what they, black people, create. It's matter of fact, our surveys say it's what they want to hear, which speaks of a sickness. How do we live in a society where somebody says, you know what, I'm inspired to write a song that celebrates murdering another person. And then a person says, I'd like to put that on my station. Another person said, I'd like to pay for it. And then there's people out here in the audience that go, I'd love to hear it, as long as it's black guys. Because even white people buy rap music, buy this type of stuff, because we know that when we want to hear about killing each other, we know who to turn to for that type of inspiration. We call it our music. We say we own it. White people buy more rap than black people. Yeah, but we're very careful to turn it down at the stoplight when other black people are there. Why? Because we know we're just pretending. For them, it's more authentic and real. I always ask the companies, what about your name? What about your brand? What about your value? And the largest radio company in the world said this: it's okay that we only have drug dealers on our black youth stations. We only have murders on our black youth stations. We support black charities. We give out water at the Martin Luther King parade. I think we've got it covered. We bought them off. Now, people get upset, the smartest guys in the room again. You're talking about censorship. I don't believe that. I believe in free art. Make whatever you want. I believe you should make music about anti-Semitism. I believe you should make music about killing dogs. I believe in this country you should make music about bashing homosexuals and driving them behind trucks. I believe you should make music about stringing people up on trees. I believe you should make music about killing whitey. I believe you should make all that music. But I also believe that in the mainstream marketplace, people should hesitate associating their name with certain content. You know, there's certain stuff you can't buy at the store, certain stuff you can't get on iTunes because their brand doesn't want it. But if you want to hear black people celebrating killing black people, they got thousands and thousands and thousands of those things to sell you. I don't think it's about censorship. I think it's about American cultural hypocrisy. Because here's the truth. These black entertainers, they can't sing just about anything. There's some stuff that'll get them fired, and they get dropped, and they get fired, and they get slapped on the wrist, and they get disciplined all the time. Why? Because sometimes they step over the bounds. A very famous case is what happened with Rick Ross. Rick Ross is the Mammy Two Shoes, one of the many Mammy Two Shoes of our day. He's a black entertainer in a world carved out for him, and a role carved out for him by white entertainment companies. And one day he talked about, in the middle of a song that celebrated dealing drugs and killing blacks, he made a reference to date rape. And when he made that reference to date rape, that set social media on fire. That got 100,000 petitions in 24 hours. Hey, buddy, date rape is no joke. That had white people standing outside of Reebok in New York saying, you better take this seriously. We're tired of a rape culture in America. One line in one song moved the masses. And you know what Reebok did? Did they stand by him and say, hey, we believe in freedom of speech. We believe in freedom of expression. It's just a song. Calm down. No, they fired his tail on the spot. The president came out and said, this goes against our high standards. He's gone against the values of our brand. Shame on Rick Ross. We're disappointed. He doesn't know how serious date rape is. And when I saw that, I thought, wow, how convenient. Isn't that amazing? But here's what I use. Rick Ross went off script. He was hired to get black customers, and they think that black customers go with black bait. And in America, black bait is the hypercriminalized, hypersexualized portrayal of black people. And as long as he had sung about that, the stuff that got him hired, he still have a job at Reebok. But when he touched other sensitivities that affect us, he lost his job. See, the truth is,
by us, he mean the clear people.
It's we that need to change. We created the lies. We created them for our profit. We own the companies. We own the record labels. We own the advertisers, and we keep putting it out. And it's this that's got to change. I thought about it. You know what? I wonder if White Mike could get anybody's attention on this. So I stood outside of a Walmart, and I said, hey, I don't think killing cops and killing blacks is very cool. And you know what? It only took 7 weeks of Mike standing out there, and they wrote a letter and said, yeah, we don't think it's cool either. We're going to pull our name off of that. The largest retailer in the world had never considered that maybe their commercial shouldn't be right before or after a song about young black men being gunned down. And I realized this, that black murder is normal, but it should not be. And I realized the importance at the coffee table, at every headline, every pastor's gathering, every family gathering to say, you know what, these Black lives matter. It's not just another Black kid. These are human beings. I'm doing my best in every way, shape, and form. Talks like this everywhere I can go to say, you know what, I was born in a world where Black murder was normal. My kids were born into a world where Black murder is normal, but I don't want to die in a world where Black murder is normal. Am I 5 years or 10 years away? I don't know, but I'm screaming as high as I can. Let's feel this pain and let's lift our voice to tell the lies. They are not criminals. They are not deviants, and their lives are just as important as ours. Thank you very much. Out there.
Exactly. This was so good, Kurz. Okay. And until it affected the clear people, that's when they were up in arms, when he brought out America's dirty secret that they don't want to come out, which is human trafficking in the way they exploit. Once he talked about date raping, it was a problem. That's because America doesn't want their dirty secret to come out. This has been going on for centuries. Human trafficking, the way they have mistreated our kind, the way they have over-sexualized us through the years. But if it's not beneficial to them, you're not allowed to talk about it. Right. Woo! Thank you so much, Kurz, for that. The link is in the comments. This is Michael Smith. He exposes the music industry's plan on hypersexualizing and criminalizing the Black community.
Amazing, right?
Amazing.
He spoke of it, but we know that's what they've been doing all along, and that's how they get our kids.
Exactly.
It's not surprising. I mean,
shout out to Juby Buggin for this next one. She sent me a clip. Hold on. It's old footage of Nicki Minaj. See, like people, the videos do not lie, honey. Shout out to Ann Stowick. Go to her channel and subscribe. This falls under fair use commentary. Everything we're discussing today falls under the Fair Use Commentary Act. Let me just make sure I can share without no problem. Wasn't it the truth, the dog? Like, we all about the facts over here. And I don't live in a world of delusion, nor do I believe in a world of smoke and mirrors. I live in a world of fact, period. Okay? And this music industry has really diminished our community with the things that they highlight and how these people get rich. All right? So, Nicki Minaj, gay and exposed. Here we go.
Okay, you said you know her, and basically, what is it that you?
Let me back it up a little.
I know Remy Ma and all that.
Okay, you said you.
You heard her? I know Remy Ma. Remember her and Remy Ma have a history of beefing.
Know her, and basically, what is it that you want to let the viewers know about what you know about Remy Ma and what went down?
I just want to let y'all know out there that, you feel me? Remy, first off, I love you, baby. You feel me?
Biggie and Fox and Remy and you know, I had so many people that I looked toward to kind of paint the picture of the hood.
What up, y'all? It's your girl, Remy Ma, the queen of YBX, the fellow cousins, the squad. You are watching Harlem Street. A shout out to my nigga, Cliffy Bars. Make sure, shout it out. Big. So, some movement going on right now. Album in stores, February 7th. It's signed about Remy, Harlem Streets. It is what it is. It's always BX. Shout out.
Yeah, it's your boy Cliffy Balls. We out here. We in motherfucking. Tell them where we at right now.
We in Harlem, baby.
All right, that's what it is.
Wait,
listen,
baby.
we in Harlem. Listen. She's holding a real big G stack out here. We understand you getting money. Listen, all right. You was brought to me because you said you had something to say on camera. You know what I'm saying? You had something to say on camera. Okay. Now, what is it that you want to say? We understand. You said you know Remy Ma.
Yes, I do. I'm straight from the Bronx. I'm not a Harlem nigga. I fucks with Harlem, but I'm a BX chick. You feel me? And all that. Castle Hill, shout out and all that. But true stills, you know what I mean? Real talk, I know Remy Ma and all that.
Okay, you said you know her, and basically, what is it that you want to let the viewers know about what you know about Remy Ma and what went down?
I just want to let y'all know out there that, you feel me? Remy, first off, I love you, baby. You feel me? I'm so glad of your success and all that. You made it, baby. You know that. You feel me? You super fly. But I just have something to say. I just wanted to let this out.
Hold on, I'm just making sure because my connection is going in and out. I just need. Here we go. Are we back?
Yep.
Okay. StreamYard, you know I sent them a long one. But isn't it strange? Nicki was a whole tomboy. She was a whole butt back in the day. And she loved Remy. My daughter just made me breakfast, guys. Thank you, Sanaya.
I used to fuck with her. Straight off. I know her. You should chill with her, smoke with her, drink, pop bottles, burn L's and all that. You feel me? I dead ass no lie. This is not a stunt. You feel me? I'm not motherfucking. What's that nigga that do the stunts? The nigga on the motorcycle?
Super Dave.
Not Super Dave, nigga. What the fuck is that?
Evil Knievel.
Evil Knievel, nigga.
Right.
I don't do stunts. I'm not Evil Knievel. You know what I mean? But I did ass had relations with her and all that. Ate the box. You feel me? It's whatever though. You know what I mean?
And what did she do to you?
I just told you she ate the box. Like,
And you mad because she acting like she don't know you now.
exactly, B. Not picking them nigga calls up. You know what I mean? Sending
You got Remy Ma number. Call her right now. Call her right now. Call her right now, real quick. Put it on speakerphone. Call her right now, real quick. Call Remy Ma right now, real quick. And see
I'm
if
not even gonna say her government. I'm gonna just say Remy Ma, her stage name. You feel
Go
me?
ahead.
I'm not even gonna blow it like that.
Go ahead, call it. Put it on speaker.
It's on speaker. Hopefully y'all can hear it.
Hello?
Yo, Rem, what's good, baby?
What's good, Study? What's up?
What's really good? Why you be fronting on me and all that? Like, come on.
I don't got time for that.
To me, you got time for that.
Hold on, I think I lost the connection again. I just want to make sure everybody can hear me.
I hear you.
This is Resurfaced exclusive. Nicki Minaj is coming out. Her and Remy had a relationship. And Remy didn't want it to come out. You know what? This sounds familiar. Just like her recent accusations. What's done in the dark will come to light. Well, people, even James, he like, I can't believe this is Nicki. He's like, OMG, is that Nicki? She was a straight bucket.
Quiet. I was like, That's all I can say is,
Oh, Juby Bucket says, when sexuality sells, you'll definitely change your entire character if you could be brought with money. Yeah. Okay, this is exclusive. Shout out to Juby Bucket for sending me this. Okay, let's get back into it because this is it. This is a full circle moment.
Prove my point. Point proven. You feel me? Word.
So that was Remy Ma just hung up on you?
Yes. Yes. And if I wanted to get deep in the conversation and all that, and let y'all know that I'm really real with what I was saying just now, you feel me, about what we, had going on and all that, I can do that. But right now she's fronting. I don't know. You feel me? I could really get her to talk and say, yo, me personally don't appreciate that, because if I was in her position, I still fucks with her. You feel me?
Okay. Hold on, they saying, so is this really Nicki Minaj? Hold on, let me mute it because it's some music. Let's do a comparison. This is Nicki from back in the day, the come up. It looks like her. The mouth, the nose. Don't that look the same? That looks like the same person to me. The eyes. Just add some makeup and a wig. Mmm. Does old Nicki look like now Nicki? I'm gonna pause it there. I mean, she's got some work done through the years.
Yeah.
She's got some work done through the years, but wow. Woo! People got so many skeletons in their closet, and I think that's what like the theme of the show is today. I appreciate everybody for that footage, but the music industry has a way of changing people. We all know that, and this is goes to show like people will change for a price. They will not live their truth for a price. I don't know, ladies. What are your thoughts? Your closing thoughts?
All I can say is, And I think this has been a thing. Because so many people are living double lives. And from the first when you came, I'm talking about Larry Reid, double life, Fani, double life, you know, double life. I mean, this is the theme. You are not joking.
Double life everywhere. And if people would just walk in their truth, it wouldn't be no exposing. But because people want to lie and gaslight us so that they can, reach the top pinnacle of their power or so that they can attain all these riches. But then I look at Nicki Minaj and all the lean she has, and it's just like, was it worth it? It looks like she is a woman that does not know how to handle her business, and she's not reading contracts, and she doesn't have good management. But it sounds like all these people got
been swallowed up,
and none of them
Ever
stand
in
on
life,
what?
I stand on business. You drop me somewhere, I stand on business. You drop me in your hood,
None of them stand on business, honey. Okay.
None of them do stand on business. And you're right about all of that stuff. But the people, that's what they do. Now the thing about Nikki though, and her not handling her business, she gets mad at everybody else because they're getting fame and not only fame but success and notoriety, and she's not getting the same. As a matter of fact, while everybody else is growing and reaching higher heights, she's going lower and lower. And I think that's the other thing. It's like she's in quicksand, and she's struggling to get out.
She's struggling to get out. And to me, like until she goes to deal with her childhood traumas, and that last video footage solidified for me that something happened to her in her childhood. And if her brother was willing to violate that his stepdaughter, I wouldn't put it past him to violate Nikki. Hence the reason why she probably turned butch.
And they talked about that girl, that rapper girl, talked about that how her dad abused her mom, allegedly.
No, exactly. And
So,
then don't forget.
A place of trauma and toxicity.
Exactly. And let's not forget her mom. And I don't know, I mean, maybe somebody from the Caribbean can speak to this in my audience, but I do know with the Caribbean community, a lot of times they end up leaving their kids behind in the country so they could come build a life here in America. Then they bring the kids here later, but you just don't know what's happening to your kids. And I that's a common theme in the Caribbean community. A lot of them, they'll leave the kids back home. So her mom left her until she was 5 years old in Trinidad, and then she brought her here. But a lot of Caribbeans do that. Yes, and I did see your comment, Juby Buggin, Dwayne Martin. They're saying he got married. I think that's all. I think they playing in our face, to be quite honest. Rather than him answer for what he has done, he rather lie to us, and he's yet again gonna hurt another woman, just like he did Tisha Campbell, and he's probably robbing her, just like he did Tisha Campbell. He's probably lying to her, and that's why I don't want to
Right?
talk about the story because he's another major gaslighter.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like
You're right. I just was wondering if you had heard.
I did
I was
definitely
more
hear.
looking at how she looked like the girl that Ye is married to, and he gonna have her cooking in all kind of latex masks with her biscuits, her Republican and her Democrat out, and walking around the streets in freaking bras made of pantyhose. What's happening?
What happened is right. All right. And did you hear about Candace and the Michael Darby lawsuit?
No, what?
Yes, I love it. I knew that's how it was going to end up.
What happened?
I
Shout out
I
to the
feel like it
talk
was
of
frivolous. He
fame.
wasted the court's time, and since he lost, isn't he responsible for her lawyer fees? Isn't that how it goes?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so
Mm-hmm.
excited. Baby Hands didn't get any satisfaction because I bet they looked at that thing, and I bet the clerk was like, "Judge, this is the case. Look, this man is suing her." And remember, I was telling you I watched that show where the man was in the back and he was grabbing the other people's ass. Yeah, he is trying to sue her because she said he pays for sex. You want me to throw this one out? I bet they couldn't wait to discuss that.
Exactly. So Michael Darby, $2 million defamation against Candace Dillard Bassett has been dismissed. People can exclusively report. The Real Housewives of Potomac Star thanks her legal team for helping the plaintiff to get exactly what he deserves from me. Absolutely nothing. So Ashley, take that and shove it up your big forehead, okay?
Now she gonna have to pay for that
And
house
now
the old-fashioned way. He was suing
what on
her
her
for
back?
exactly the cost of the new house. The new house is $2 million.
Isn't it disgusting?
And he was suing Candace for $2 million after Candace had talked about Ashley and him and all that stuff in their finances and at least her house, her da 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 da, and that her concubine having husband was going to be responsible for her. Remember? So he sued her for the exact amount of the house, which I also was like, no, he isn't.
He is
And then
disgusting. Hey, hold on, Curves. Hey,
he's
sexy
painful.
sexy. Thank you. And welcome to the Naughty Crew. Appreciate you joining. Go ahead, Curve.
Hey, sexy triple 20. Right? That's what Karen said she is nowadays. But no,
Triple
I just think
20.
it's hilarious. That's hilarious that Baby Hands didn't have a leg to stand on or a hand to grab with. And we already knew he wasn't, though. Well, at least I
We
did. I don't
already.
know. What did you think, Kim? Did you think he had a leg to stand on?
Girl, You know, he uh, he was just crazy anyway. You know what I mean? From the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just mad because that wasn't the first time that somebody caught him, right? Because whose party was that at? Oh, it was at, whose party was that at, y'all?
Very
The
Monique,
soon.
at Monique's party.
whose party, babe?
Wasn't that Monique's party where the cameras didn't work
Right.
when it came
Oh,
time for court?
yeah, and then, but later on though, because people were pressing her about that, they were like, "Look, you got that house, and all the other cameras were working, and that one was working." She said, "I'm just not gonna say anything." So she alluded to the fact that they could have been working, but she just told them that because she didn't want to be in the midst of that stuff. So I think that was her first
Mm-hmm.
time, your first season on that show, and she
Right.
didn't want to get in the mix of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because she was trying to find her place. But yes, but it didn't matter because remember that guy, the producer guy or the cameraman, he filed a complaint.
Right.
So
And it was on video.
yeah, it was on video. Did he video him? Yes, it was. You right. Because somebody did catch it. Her cameras didn't catch
Yep.
it, but somebody did catch it.
Production caught it.
That's right. Production caught it.
Mm-hmm.
But they were trying to get Candace to get not Candace. What's her name? I keep messing up her name. The girl that fought Candace. What's her name again?
Monique.
Monique. Yeah, they were trying to get Monique's cameras, and Monique's like they wasn't working.
After she bragged about having all the latest state of the art, everything, something wasn't working.
But that's what he get though.
That's what he get. That's another one living a double life.
And remember, they caught him on camera with that woman in the room that he took from the bar.
Exactly.
Wasn't there 2 times he was caught? Like
Right.
with cameras involved?
That's when Giselle and I think Candace or whoever brought Ashley into the room when they were out somewhere in the woods somewhere. And they said, we want to tell you something. And they showed her the video.
He's a creep. He's a creep. He's down with the freak off culture. And actually, he just
And she
dumps
was
her
too.
down.
She was too. And
she was too.
Remember, she had to sit him down in that restaurant and be like, I don't want to play anymore, Michael. You went out without me, and I have this baby now, and I just don't want to play anymore. I know we used to go to butt naked freak offs, but look, I'm retiring my freak because I have a baby now, and these boobs belong to my baby. I can't have everybody sucking on these things. Remember,
Right.
she sat him down and told him?
That's true. And then you can't tell me he didn't like wine, okay? He had a thing for wine. He couldn't stay off of wine. And wine was trying, and as mean as wine, and it's funny because as mean as wine is to the women nowadays, okay? He wasn't that mean to Michael, because I would have told Michael to back up off, dude.
Right. My son's about to see this. I don't want my sons like getting entertained by sausage suckers right now. Like, I don't want, you know what I mean? Like, dude, just kind of.
But yeah,
You
he
gotta
couldn't.
love my naughty crew.
He was
You
always
gotta
touching.
love my naughty crew.
I'm sorry, that was inappropriate.
Yeah, no, it's all good.
This is good. He wanted to always, but every time he had to talk to wine, he always had to touch him.
And it's just like, dude, keep your hands to yourself, for real. But it just goes to show that ladies, like, once you open up your bed to have these threesomes and things like that, there's no coming back from that. The men is gonna constantly expect it, you know. And Ashley lost her husband as a result of it. I don't know.
Right?
I don't like to share my bed, and I don't like to share my man. So I should be
Did you
enough.
guys notice that Juan only showed up to reunions when Michael was there too? He was rarely there by himself.
Who, Juan?
Yeah, Juan, he came more when Michael came, because Michael wasn't there all the time either. But the times that Michael came, Juan happened to get there too.
Mm.
Oh my gosh.
I wonder, did he make it to this reunion?
He better have. He better come and answer to the people who want to know why would you talk to your wife that way when your
He's
kids
not.
have
He's a
rewind.
hide. He's a narc.
He's a what, babe?
He's a narc. You see
Oh,
the
he
way
did.
he like? Robin shot herself in the foot marrying this man again. You knew what you had.
I be feeling sorry for her though sometimes, though, Nani. When she talked to
I
him,
know. She defends it.
because he be talking to her like she just like, shut up, I don't want to hear it. Basically, is what his response is.
He been talking to her that way, and she married him again.
Yeah, that's true.
And I mean, this is coming off as two people that never resolve their issues. Like, if you don't know how to resolve your issues, and resolving, I mean, you have to acknowledge, especially when you're in a relationship, you have to be able to acknowledge each other's feelings, number one. You can't just chop each other off. And to me, that's been on. They've had that issue. That's like, this is not the first season we found Juan talking to her crazy. The woman was in bed dealing with depression, and he was like, "Get out of bed. It's not attractive, Robin. That's how you talk to your wife." This is not the first season. Robin knew exactly who she was marrying. She wanted to keep up images so she could have a storyline on the show. She's still boring. Boo, boo, tomato, tomato. I need her off the show. I need Gizzy off the show. They need a revamp just like Roa. Hey, Cecily from Nola. What's going on, honey child?
Man, I love Sin.
I do too. I do too. Peace and blessings to you all. So, ladies, I hope you ladies enjoyed the show. Guys, the replay game, Larry Reid was exposed last night. His ex-lover, his secret lover, came out and exposed him. Came out and exposed him. Shout out to Official Campaign. He did that. I give flowers where flowers is due. He came over and blessed the Naughty Crew chat, and granted me permission to share the video. I will leave the link in my description box. But let me tell you, Official Kingpin have receipts. Okay, I'm talking video footage of Larry leaving this man's apartment at night. Okay, this man provided him with bank records and things like that. But Larry was out here driving his narrative that TD Jakes was a groomer. Remember? AT2 and Mims, they exposed him. Well, they talked about it on their channel, and the receipts that were produced were not receipting for me. Okay, and so I just think this is karma for Larry Reid for trying to drive this narrative without any proof. And even still, he said it was a bunch of victims, and it was going to be a big lawsuit that dropped at the end of January. We're now in February, and this is what you get, sir. This is what you get. Now your ex-lover is coming out and exposing it all. STIs and all. Putting it all on the table. All the laws you've been breaking. Arranging marriages for green cards, sir. That's illegal. That's illegal. Okay? And the one thing that was exposed in that interview, Larry is the biggest groomer. And I feel like I felt all along he's been projecting and deflecting to try to get away from them allegations that are out there about him violating young boys. He's a professional groomer. All right. We also got into Megan Thee Stallion's big win, her distribution deal. We broke that down, which led us to gaining footage of Nicki Minaj, resurfaced footage from back in the day. Nicki Minaj is a whole stud, and her and Remy had a relationship. Yeah, that brings a whole nother layer to the beef, and now that explains why Remy started saying, "Oh, it's squash," and she didn't want this to resurface. She did not want this to resurface at all. Then we also got into shout out to Kurz for sending me that message on Insta regarding the music industry. Hold on, let me Michael Smith.
But we do have black people that get on the radio every
Exposing the music industry and the plan on hypersexualizing and criminalizing the black community. All right, this is the world that we in. We also got into Fani Willis and her admitting to the relationship with the prosecutor that she put in charge of Trump. Double life. People are living double lives everywhere. And if people would just walk in their truth, it wouldn't be all this exposing going on. So, ladies, on my panel, I'm going to go around. I'll start with you, Kurz. What are your closing thoughts?
When you set out on a journey of revenge, make sure you dig a grave for two people. When you are being used by an obvious system of oppression for your people and buying into it to the point where you attack other contemporaries and have your fans deface deceased people's things, you need to get an exorcism. And if you check into conservatorship, it's not a good thing. Poor Wendy Williams. I feel so bad for her.
I feel bad for her. It's so sad. Oh,
I didn't even like her like that, Naughty. Didn't even like her like that. But I feel so bad for her. They shouldn't have never did that to that lady. Is she right? If they could do it to her, they could do it to us.
And Charlemagne, yeah. And Charlemagne spoke up about it too. Like, you know, it's sad the way they are.
It's not sad.
Well, they couldn't wait till she got well to do this documentary. And let me tell you, Charlemagne is not my favorite person, right? But he had a point. when he spoke up on this. Let me see if I can find it really quick
Yeah,
before.
because you're right. The seat sniffer is never a great person to bring up a good point because I'm so like you're a seat sniffer and that whole SA thing, dude.
And
Like,
that's
yeah,
another one. That's
right.
another one that need to walk in his truth, child. But he had a point in this, okay? And
Hmm.
you don't have to agree with everybody's
I'm sorry, you were
personality.
really trying to get off of
Sometimes you
here, and
can
I brought
find
that up. I'm
a
sorry.
common ground. Here's what Charlamagne had to say. Shout out to the Neighborhood Talks for capturing this about the
The
footage.
documentary coming out on February 24th and February 25th. All right, the documentary is called "Where is Wendy Williams?"
I immediately prayed for Wendy
Mhm.
after I watched that, and I don't understand why they got the camera in that woman's face. For what? Yeah,
Obviously,
y'all taking advantage of the dysfunction. Why do you want to document somebody's just downfall?
it
Like,
seems
why?
like she needs the money, and she probably got paid to do this documentary. If she says she has no money, she's not doing radio, she's not doing her TV shows.
How do we know she's getting the money?
She's
If you hear people in the documentary, I think it was her son saying that there's people around her taking advantage of her. How do we know she's even getting the money? How do we know somebody just didn't go do this deal? And you hear somebody else say that she's losing memory. So how we know that she even knows that she's in the right frame of mind to even know what she's doing?
Well, if her
How do
son
we
is
know any of that money
involved,
getting to her?
if her family's involved, you would hope she's getting the money, right?
Yeah, you would hope so. I don't know. I genuinely feel.
Now, there's a documentary coming out on February 24th.
From 6 years.
And so everyone has seen the trailer. I think it's some truth to what Charlamagne is saying. I feel like they're exploiting her at this point. I really do.
Yeah.
But I'm sending well wishes to Wendy. I wish her nothing but the best at the end of the day.
I'm going to drop out, ladies, but I'm just going to add this as my last comment. When you first practice to deceive, oh, what a tangle web you weave.
Facts,
I don't know what Sound the Spider says.
That's right.
All
Have
right.
a ladies.
You as well.
You
And
too.
please, everyone, go over to Kim Delivers and subscribe. She has a YouTube channel. Also, go over to Logic Curve's channel and smash her
Thank
button.
you, Naughty.
Channel. Thank you, both of you ladies. And thank you, Gina, my queen from London, for joining the panel and your thoughts today. I hope you all enjoyed this show. We spoke truth. We walk in our truth over here at 9/11 Movement. But I told y'all, this is a year of exposure and accountability. What's done in the dark come to light, honey. What's done in the dark come to light. Let's say prayers for Wendy Williams. All right. And I found this clip this morning, and I'm gonna close the show with this because if you don't know me, I'm from New Jersey, East Orange, New Jersey. Me and Buck grew up together. He's usually in the comments. And this influencer did a clip. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Here we go. And it's called If You From East Orange, You Know These Things. And I just thought it'll give y'all a little glimpse. Hey, boo. Hey, Couture Bay. It'll give y'all a little glimpse of where I'm from and where I grew up to. But please, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Hit the like button. Share my content, please. Okay? And please, Couture Bay just joined the chat. Go over to my YouTube friend. Go over to her channel and subscribe. She has some great commentary. I mean, educated point of views. And she is your favorite vlogger. Hey, Diva. Happy Saturday. Shout out to the Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva, too. Go over to her channel and subscribe. Love her. Love Couture Bay. Thank y'all all for joining me. All right, so I'm going to close the show just to give y'all a little glimpse of where I grew up at. All right, please make sure you hitting that like button.
I'm from East Orange. Of course, half my family went to Hart Middle. They either A heads, B heads, or C heads. I'm from East Orange. Of course, I get my hair cut at Uncle Sam's. I'm from East Orange. Of course, I know niggas from down the hill. I'm from East Orange. Of course I know niggas from the She side. I'm from East Orange. Of course I know niggas from the North side.
License, registration, insurance. The reason why I pulled yours for your 10 and windows.
I'm from East Orange. Of course I get pulled over for tips. I'm from East Orange. Of course this the best part of Central Ave. I'm from East Orange. Of course I shot right open for 24 hours. I'm from East Orange. Of course I take exit 145. I'm from East Orange. Of course half my family went to Hart Middle.
Okay? If you from East Orange, you know, okay? All of these things he said was facts. And these are all things I grew up around with, me and Buck, as a kid. All right? And if you from East Orange, you just know all of these things are facts. All right? I appreciate every last one of y'all joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed day. Happy Saturday to every last one of you. And please make sure you don't get distracted by the evils of the world and get
You ever been swallowed up
and get swallowed up by the evils of the world. And make sure when you walk in through your day today that you stand on business.
Ever in life, I stand on business. You drop me somewhere, I stand on business. You drop me in your hood,
stand on business, 10 toes down. And to all my haters,
and I wanna say thank you in case I don't thank you enough.
I thank y'all too. Y'all keep the wheels turning over here. So share my content, hit that like button. Until next time, Naughty Crew, I'm out. 1.